Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select, starring Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. There ain't always gonna walk through the door. There just might be some strategy in this. Just having fun with our special guest. Time for Stage Select.
And here are your hosts, Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
And I'm Justin Ham. Man, I wish I had an intro. I wish I had a good intro, but I don't know if I do. That's the whole thing. I'm trying.
Yeah.
I had Julian, you do your dream journal sometimes. I had a weird dream recently where I was here. I was at this house. It was very different, this house. There was a big open space, and people were giving they were trying to, it was like the launch of some sort of company was happening at my house.
Okay.
And I was there to sell concessions.
Dream big, Justin.
Yeah,
Dream big.
yeah. But here's the thing, right? Here's the best part of this dream. Okay, I wasn't really so much selling concessions as I was. The concessions had been sold, and I was giving people change. That was my job. So I walked around. Okay, go ahead.
Very important.
Yeah.
Did you have trouble giving change, and was it giving you anxiety?
Here's the thing. Kind of, but it was a lot of the time because I didn't know how much anything cost. So they were like, so a man bought something. I don't even know what it was. And he was like, "Oh, can I have my change?" And I was like, I don't know I don't know how much that is. So I remember pulling coins out of my pocket and going, "You take what you need." And they took like a dime, and they're like, "That's perfect, thank you." And I
This
was
is
like,
the most Abramo coded dream.
it really was. And I walked away, and that was that. And then I think another person, and I remembered the item because it was so stupid. It's one of those dreams where I got just woken up at the perfect time or whatever, and I was like, and that's why I remembered it. And the person bought chocolate covered jelly beans. I don't know why we were selling those, but we were. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But that's what they got.
Not okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Because I told this to somebody else and they were like, "Stop, chocolate covered jelly beans, what?" And I was like, yeah, I don't know. That's what we were selling. I didn't really think about it. And so you mentioned that, but you're right. It is pretty weird, isn't it? It doesn't sound very good.
No.
How much did they cost? I don't know. Was I able to give the correct change? Again, I don't remember. I tried. I didn't know how much anything cost. Nobody informed me. I was just the change guy. I wasn't even trusted with the chocolate covered jelly beans to sell. I was just giving go around and give people change. And I was like, I guess I was just like, okay, yeah, guess I'll do that. It was a weird dream. Yeah.
It's been 12 years since I left the landfill, and I still have nightmares about being back there. Various different permutations of it, but the most recurring one, because it was such a move the line along type of job, because we would get like very busy between inbound trucks, outbound trucks,
sure,
and then the customers coming in to dump their trash,
right?
And like on a Saturday, like it could just get like we would have a line sometimes almost to the the road.
Sure.
The most common recurring nightmare of being back at the landfill is having a line and then not being able to correctly work the till and make the change.
Yeah.
And just having to constantly redo it and like void this and revoid that.
Right.
I mean, like, I'm sorry, I messed up again. Let me do it again. And just awful.
Yeah. See, I've never really, admittedly, never been in a spot where somebody like put me on a register. For whatever reason, people were always just like, no, you go make the things and we'll handle all the people stuff because we don't.
Yeah.
I think they just didn't want me talking to people, and they're smart for that. I'm not going to sit here and act like they're not. That was an intelligent decision by business owners of Justin's past, was to put him in the back and let him do that stuff because I don't want to talk to people. That's fine.
No, see, but the thing is that you would actually be like the most affable, like front-facing person that
it's very possible.
Customers would love.
Yeah, it's very possible.
I think the only thing from a business standpoint is that you would also just immediately cave on anything and you'd be like, yeah, man, it's fine.
Yeah.
And you would definitely be the one with the hookups.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That's probably factual.
Yeah.
I was always happy that I never had to do change or anything like that. I was always the guy cooking or whatever the fuck, and that was fine.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a dream I had. The only reoccurring dream I have, and it's never about a place. It's always about like a thing. I always end up just smoking a lot of pot in my dreams. I haven't done that in years, but it's always that. That's always like the one thing that I always remember about the dream is like, yeah, then we smoked a bunch of pot, and that was it. and that's it. I'm not high in the dream. I mean, I might be. I don't know because it's a fucking dream. But yeah, that's always a reoccurring bit. And I never really understand why. But here we are.
I had a really weird nap dream just a couple days ago where it felt like I never fell asleep, but I was clearly dreaming, and it was pseudo lucid, like not quite.
Okay. Yeah.
But I remember being like in some sort of like fairground or like some sort of like walled off market or something like that.
Okay.
And at some point getting like physically repelled from the place, almost like hitting a force field in like a video game or something, and repelling backwards like hundreds of feet out of the place.
Okay.
But the whole time being like kind of dimly aware that it's like, I'm napping and I'm gonna have to get up from my nap soon, and
yeah,
like my brain's still working like it normally does.
Right.
Like it was a very bizarre feeling.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, dreams are weird.
The dreams are weird.
Yeah. First
off, I need to make a big apology to everybody for last week's episode, because it was a nearly 4-hour episode. Really good discussion. It was great talking to a friend of the show, John Gholson, and we talked about a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
But it was a 4-hour episode. I was up pretty late Friday night because I think, as I've talked about, no matter how long the show is, I will always end like I almost always get dinner afterwards because I usually have not eaten
usually
before the
goes
show.
and eats right directly after the show. Yeah, that is a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm also just kind of, my brain is pretty wired.
Yeah.
Because I'm just kind of like, there's like an excitement of doing the show.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
There's usually like kind of like a post-show glow type. It's like, oh man, that was like a really good episode. And I'm, looking forward to like editing this bit in there or doing this or whatever.
Right.
Or just happy that we did a good job.
Right.
And that'll keep me up for hours.
Yeah.
And then I end up, actually, no, Saturday was an interesting thing because I didn't sleep till like noon. I actually ended up waking up around 8.
Oh,
so I think I went to bed at like 2:30 or 3.
That sounds right.
But the whole weekend, I just could not get myself locked in and motivated to sit down and edit.
Welcome to my world. Yeah.
Normally I try to do half of the show on Saturday and then half of the show on Sunday, because if I try to edit the show in one sitting, I will invariably start to drift and start to miss stuff that I would prefer to edit.
Yeah.
And I can always tell, like, when I lost focus, I'm like, oh, man, if I had broken this up a little bit better, I would have caught all of that stuttering or whatever. But I don't know. I just could not bring myself to do it. And it was going, Saturday came and went. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just have to tank it all on Sunday. I'll do like the first 2 hours like in the morning, I'll do the last 2 hours like in the afternoon, and then like morning came and went, and then noon came and went, and then afternoon came and went.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? Zencaster, because we were using the Zencaster recordings anyway.
Sure.
We didn't record locally. Zencaster does have that feature where you can like pay to edit the show.
Yeah.
Let me try and see what this is like.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to take out the crutch words and do all the leveling and this and that. And I initially set it to take out crutch words and and stutters and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I could tell in the transcript that the Morgan bit at the beginning, it was cutting out like almost everything that Morgan said.
Well, yeah, that's
because Morgan does like it's part of his quirk.
Well, it's what makes him uniquely him, Kim.
Yes, exactly. And so it wasn't going to work that way. So I was like, okay, just take out the crutch words, the ums and stuff like that, and the pauses. And mind you, it cost like $50 to when all was said and done to edit this sumbitch because it was so long.
Yeah.
And then the final product was what I consider to be nigh unlistenable, because not only did it really not do that great a job of cutting out the ums, but the leveling was all off, and like it wasn't good enough to just take out what's obviously like background noise. There was times when John was typing.
In my experience with anything that levels stuff like automatically for you, you have to be really careful with it. It will do weird shit. It'll start ducking stuff you don't want ducked behind things, and it goes nuts sometimes. Like, so the best way to do it is if you have something like that, is to do it individual track wise, like level that out and then level the other one out. At least in my experience, that's how I always did it.
That's what I normally do.
I know,
but
explaining for the people at home that never done any of this stuff. So it gets really weird when you try to like put something that's multiple voices together, because you never can tell what it thinks is the dominant thing, and it'll start. It does some wild shit.
Well, and this also, because I would have figured that it would have been smart enough to understand that like this repetitive sound in the background is obviously background noise that needs to be eliminated, and it didn't. And this is also like one of the very rare episodes where I was eating during the episode, which I almost never do.
Right.
I'm just like chomping on some cashews like in the middle of the show.
Why not? It was a long show.
And just bad all around. I will not be doing that again.
Yeah.
Learn my lesson.
You learned your lesson.
It was a painfully expensive lesson.
Yeah.
As Thanos said at the end of I think that was Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. did you just put it up like largely unedited at that point, or did you actually put what the Zencaster thing put up? I was just curious.
No, that's what I'm saying. I put up what the Zencaster.
Oh, that is what went out. Okay.
So what it was is I let Zencaster do its thing, and then I went back and put in the music breaks where I knew that they needed to be.
Sure. Yeah.
And I caught like one thing, because there's like one part where I say, "Oh, I'll edit this in post," which I didn't catch. But there was a part where I asked John about something not sensitive, but something that he wanted to wait and talk about later, and I was able to cut that part.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. For the most part, it was just me putting in the music breaks and calling it a day. And then when I listened to the final product, I was like, "Oh God, this is embarrassing." and it sucks that it was also with like a guest who, if it was just you and me, I'd be like, okay, whatever, it's fine. But it's like anytime there's a guest, there's a possibility of new people.
Yeah, who cares
listening
about
for
us?
The first time?
Yeah, right. That's all right. It'll be fine. As I find myself saying a lot, it'll be fine.
You do say that a lot.
I do, and I'm usually right, so it's fine.
Yeah. But to that end, actually, Justin.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
No. Absolutely not.
Listen.
No, stop.
No.
Okay.
Look, you were right last time, right?
Okay.
You were right.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Mea culpa. I drifted too far from the mission statement of Space Monkey Mafia, which is to make good independent podcasts, right?
All right.
Doing a dating show about taking an unprotected chair shot to the head, starring Edge and Christian.
I don't know. That was a good idea, though.
It's a good idea, but I'll let someone else take that.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
We should focus on the show.
Sure.
And so I have been focusing on that. I did some deep thinking, and It turns out that
Oh boy. Oh no. Oh god.
hold on.
All right, I'm holding. Hold on. Hold on.
Keep holding.
Nope. Hold on. Everybody hold on.
Hold.
You holding?
Yes, it turns out that episode 61 has been our most successful episode in a while.
Good.
Now, you might think that was because we had Mike Fallick on, and that very well could be.
It's possible. Yeah.
But I think it's because the title of the episode is Jake Paul, the Nickelback of Our Souls.
It's a good title. Listen, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie about it. I seen the poll on the Discord when that came up, and I was like, I'm immediately voting for this. It's the best name out of these two. I don't care. I should probably be excluded from such voting, but I'm voting anyway. I did not care.
Yes.
Yeah.
With that in mind,
okay,
every episode title will now feature a internet celebrity.
Okay, it's good
to make sure that we hit that SQL.
Let's see. What's a good internet celebrity these days? Oh geez, I don't know internet celebrities.
This episode will probably be Baby Gronk.
Baby Gronk.
Yeah.
Is that the AI? No.
That's Grok.
That's Grok. Yeah. Okay. That's what that's the Elon Musk AI. I know. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see why I got
Mr.
confused.
Beast. There's, obviously we can use Jake Paul or Logan Paul.
Yeah.
There's Aiden Ross. We got the Tate brothers. We've got, let's see. Is it Ashton Taylor? The morning the morning routine guy that bathes in the ice bath at 4 a.m.
Is that all his videos he does? He's like, this is it. This is what I got, and he just does it every day and just posts it.
Yeah, you should look him up sometime.
I really don't want
it's
to.
Ridiculous.
It sounds very samey. Like I'm always interested in how people can just get away with that. Where they're just like,
I am too. Oh. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. But people will do it. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, you got the Liver King.
Sure.
I don't know who else is a pathetic clout chasing waste of space.
I don't know. I don't follow a lot of that stuff, really.
Yeah. No, I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know you do. You got us covered on this front.
Yeah. I'm terminally online.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the big thing now was what was it? At least on Reddit, it was the Coldplay concert where there was a man and a woman, and and they got caught.
I am on the side of it's not really cool to take delight in. I don't care what they got up to, right? Like I think it's pretty shitty, like what happened to them, even if they were doing not great things, but I don't know their story, so
nobody did. I think where they fucked up is they should have just not reacted. They should have just, and I think it'd have been fine.
Yeah, you can get away with that just being we were just hugging.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fine.
Yeah, or just I don't think nobody would have thought it was even a thing, really. You would have had to I'm sure somebody. It's a Coldplay concert. I don't know why the hell. That's, I think, the funniest part of the whole thing. I think my favorite tweet was CEO gets caught cheating at a Coldplay concert is the whitest thing to ever happen. And I was like, it really is, honest to God. Yeah, it really is the whitest thing to ever happen. At least top 5. At least top 5. But if they would have just not reacted, that would have been fine.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
And and this doesn't also we could also branch out from internet celebrities,
right?
So
celebrities, right?
Maybe this episode will be titled Labubu, just Labubu. And
what's that mean?
Oh, Justin. Yeah, it's the new thing, Justin.
Hold on, let me look. Well, I gotta look.
It's the second coming of the Beanie Baby.
Oh.
People are paying ridiculous monies for Labubus.
Huh. It's like Trolls, but somehow
worse.
Lazier.
Uglier.
Yeah. Okay, like who? Is this for children?
Ostensibly.
Okay. There's.
You know, that's actually a really good question, Justin. I was thinking about this when I was in Colorado.
Yeah.
We went to this cool little store that had like a bunch of like fandom type stuff, right? It was like a lot of anime t-shirts, sweatshirts, backpacks, Japanese snacks, and of course you had like toys and figurines and stuff like that. And there was a Dragon Ball Daima Chibi Goku action figure.
Sure.
That was like $54.99.
Okay.
And the figure was like 3 inches tall.
Okay.
But obviously that's an imported figure, right? It's not like one made for like a United States toy shelf.
Sure. Yeah.
But it really got me thinking. We were talking about this as we left the store. I don't know how kids get into stuff anymore because everything's so goddamn expensive.
Yeah.
When I first started reading comic books with like Transformers, they were 75 cents an issue.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And there were the spinner racks. So you could just go grab a bunch of comics with like your lunch money or what have you. Now a single issue of a comic book is $4.99.
Yeah.
Everything is like that, right?
Yeah.
And the conclusion that I ended up coming up with, and you know, maybe like the parents in the audience can chime in on this or not. What I ended up coming to is that, well, there's a lot of stuff that kids just get into online, so they'll experience it like through YouTube clips of other people talking about it, or like, you know, obviously stuff like Minecraft. What? No, I don't know if Minecraft is free, but like, you know, Roblox is free, Fortnite is free,
Fortnite's free. Like Minecraft isn't, but it's so popular that usually a parent will pay or buy it for them or whatever, because like, you know,
right. You'll find it on deep sale, or again, plenty of ways to, if you don't own it, still plenty of ways to engage with it, which is also what I did as a kid, because I couldn't have a Nintendo, but my parents would buy me video game
also
magazines.
It's like Minecraft's not like the most expensive game in the world either. Like it's I'm not even sure what that game costs right now.
It's not a $70 game.
It's not a $70 game is what I mean. Like like that was a whole different ballpark, right? Like but yeah, I don't know. It is a lot of that. I think it is a lot of the internet type stuff.
Even action figures, like I don't know if you ever look at action figures at stores, but the average price for like figures that are only about like 5 or 6 inches tall now is like $25.
Just about. Yeah. No, I do look. Yeah. Usually when I go,
I don't think that a lot of kids play with toys anymore. I do think that these are marketed towards adults.
A lot of it is.
Yeah. But what about the kids who just want to play with some action figures, man? Like, I don't know how they're getting that stuff.
Yeah. At the same time, times are different now, and if video games and stuff like that would have been the way they are now when I was a kid, I don't know if I would have been into action figures as much, I guess. There's a lot of
but there's the other thing about, well, I guess there's a lot of free to play stuff now, but think about, because you can't rent video games anymore, or it's very difficult to rent video games. I think there might be a couple red boxes floating around, and I think GameFly might still be a concern, but it's not as easy as just, you know, ride your bike down to the Blockbuster Friday after school and go rent a video game and take it for the weekend.
$5 or whatever, and have a game for a weekend and then play it all weekend, either beat it or don't, and then be done with it, or go rent it again next weekend or whatever, however you want to do it. No, that's not a thing anymore. But at the same time, like, that's why you see a lot of the games that are like on the kind of the cheaper end take off as massively as they do a lot of the time, because like it's like, oh, this is only this much money, like, or it's free or whatever, and that's. But there's so many of those that not all of them take off, and you never know what's going to take off, right? It's a very different world out there.
And we'll circle back to that specific point later on, because we are going to talk about the Xbox layoffs.
Anyway, Julian, you can buy for $15 a protective case for your Labubu.
Nice.
I just learned that.
I feel that $15 should be the price of the Labubu.
No, I don't know how much they are, and I didn't look, but you can buy a protective cover for it. Put it in a nice clear plastic shaped case. Oh, this one's $550, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know what like the MSRP of a Labubu is.
I don't either, and I can't find it. Like this one's $700 on eBay. Okay.
I do like saying Labubu.
It's a good. No, I think that might be where they got it right. Honest to God,
Yeah.
like that might be it.
It's the best name for one of those since Monchichi.
Let's look at see if I can find what the MSRP is.
Like 3 people got the Monchichi reference.
$27.99. It's a blind box thing. So
I was aware of the blind box thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that's see, that's the gotcha market right there. It's like, oh yeah. Like some of these you're gonna get the good ones, but then you're not gonna get the good ones other times. Man, that shit'll get you. That shit'll get you.
Yeah.
Blind boxes for me when I was a kid were we had I guess they were gotcha machines or whatever, the ones you put the coins in and you turn the little fucking knob and the little plastic thing comes down and you're trying to get all the little cool things out of the you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean that's the origin of
that's
it. Like,
the origin.
That's
absolutely.
just what they're called in Japan.
Exactly.
Is gotcha.
Right. Yeah. I remember those, and there was also the we got real into in my household the I forget what the fuck they're called. I think they still make them to some degree. But when the movie Disney's Hercules came out, they put out these like round balls of chocolate and then would have a little figure inside the round ball of chocolate. It was a little like
like the Kinder eggs.
Yeah, it was something like that. And you ate the round ball of chocolate and got a figurine out of it. Was it much? Absolutely not. Was it worth doing? Not really, but it was fun because you got a round ball of chocolate out of the deal, if anything. And also, so we got a lot of those, trying to get all of them, because that was something to do when we went to the local drug mart. Does anybody else's state have drug mart?
No, but I love that name.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I always wonder that.
It is my deepest hope that they sell heroin and cocaine.
No, it's just a pharmacy basically. It's like a CVS. Yeah.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, it really is. Like to be honest with you, I haven't been to it recently, and you know what? And maybe I should go. Because I know it's still there. They moved locations, I do know that. But the drug mart, it was like basically like CVS, but like a little bit like they had some wild shit in there too. Like every now like stuff you wouldn't really normally find at a CVS because it was wasn't stuff that's weirder, I guess. At least I remember that. I remember we'd often go to the drug mart and get weird shit like Kinder eggs, or not Kinder eggs, whatever the fuck now I gotta know what the hell those things were fucking called. It's gonna bother me. Anyway, Labubu, sure, let's fucking do it. I don't know. If it came in a round ball of chocolate, what if,
sure.
There you go. There's the name of the episode. What if the Labubu came in a round ball of chocolate? I'd be into it.
I don't know if anybody remembers the Burger King Pokeballs back like at the when Pokemon was white hot, when it was brand new, but they'd be like the Pokeballs with the I think it was like a it wasn't a card, but it was I think it was like a medallion of like a random Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like they were fancy.
Right.
And like they came from Burger King.
Right.
I don't know if anybody remembers those. We sold those at Game Fellas because Teresa, the owner, was grabbing as much Pokemon merch as she could get her hands on, and she went a little crazy. Yeah.
I found it. They were called Nestle Magic.
I'll show you some Nestle Magic.
Yeah, you could get. Apparently, they've been. There's somebody trying to sell one. Apparently, I don't know why. Yeah, the foil.
I went to a comic convention with friend of the show, John Gholson, our guest from last week, and he bought a wax pack of, I forget what movie Howard the Duck cards. Howard the Duck movie cards. that still had the gum in there.
Sure, yeah.
And I don't know, he had uploaded to YouTube, but I don't know if he still has that channel, but I recorded him trying at that point, almost 30-year-old
gum. Yeah.
Gum.
Yeah.
It was a fun time.
Here, hold on. I just want to read this from this, whatever this is. This is some website called Worth Point or something. I don't know what this is. This is a new unopened factory sealed Nestle Magic chocolate ball. There's magic inside was the logo that was used to advertise these collectibles. The foil wrapped chocolate ball inside the box contains one of 24 Disney collectible figures. Nestle Magic Balls contain figures from Disney movies Hercules, The Lion King, Aladdin, and 101 Dalmatians. See,
one of those is not like the others.
Yeah, I don't remember there being more than just Hercules, though. So, like, maybe... but I'm pretty sure this was it, because it only has stuff from Hercules on it. Like, that's all there is here. But I'm guessing they came out with different stuff. They were recalled in the USA in 1998 due to being labeled a choking hazard for small children, because of fucking course they were.
I was going to say, because I remember for the longest time, like the Kinder eggs were like having trouble like getting marketed over here. And then eventually they just like took the toy out of the eggs.
Right. Yes. And were later reissued with candy inside the chocolate ball instead of a Disney collectible figurine. Please note this item is being sold as a collectible only. It is old and such. I would not recommend consumption. Thank you, person selling the Nestle Magic chocolate ball.
But you know, whoever buys that is going to get on their TikTok and eat it.
Oh, why wouldn't you? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to. For the views. Come on. Think of it. What if we got Mr. Beast to buy all the world's remaining Nestle Magic Balls and then choke on them?
I would like for Mr. Beast to choke.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that's my pitch for the future. Just feed people Nestle Magic chocolate balls that I don't like. Give it to them. They'll figure it out, or they won't. That's what's fun. You never know. Okay. Now what?
I just want to sit there with that for a little bit.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right. Excellent. Perfect.
The kids like uncomfortable silences too.
Who doesn't? I love them. They're great.
Yeah.
Or if you just linger on a sound becoming one of my favorite things. I don't know why. I'll just sit there and just linger on something for far too long. It's great.
Extrapolate.
Oh, like it's one of my favorite things Gersman does now is he will just be in a game and just sit by something for far too long, far longer than anyone needs to. We've all gotten the point, but he will sit there and do it, and then as it goes, like I'm like, he's just gonna sit here. This is good. No, this is good. This is perfect. I love this. And then and then I'm into it. That's when I'm into it.
That's from the James Stephanie Sterling school.
Oh, it's perfect. It's good
stuff.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, I'm way into that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, what else have you been way into lately, Justin?
Oh, not much. Let's see. Video game wise, I've been playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Is there more after that? I can't remember already.
No, I think it's just 3 plus 4.
Yeah, I think so too. Let me make sure just in case.
Did you play much of 1 plus 2?
Yeah, I did. I finished the whole game of 1 plus 2. I really liked it. And that I think is the problem I have with this one. Because
let's remember they shut down the team after 1 plus 2 came out. So I'm curious about actually who even made this game.
Me too. I don't know. It almost feels like they took whatever was in 1 and 2 and just kind of were like, what if we just redid the maps for 3 and 4 and put it out there? And I'm like, that's fine. That's totally fine. It's fun to play. Like, and I don't have it, but I don't have as much reverence for 3 and 4. I remember playing them. I think Tony Hawk 3 I rented over like a weekend, finished it, unlocked pretty much everything because I was good at video games in those days. I'm not anymore because I'm playing it now. I'm like, this game's fucking hard. I suck. And then, returned it to, I think it would have been Blockbuster, maybe something like that, whichever rental place I got it from. And then kind of just never picked it back up. And John last week was talking about how he didn't think he played 4, and I'm kind of maybe right there with him because I either didn't play it or I don't remember it very well.
I definitely didn't play 4.
Yeah.
I bought Tony Hawk 3 and I think I traded it back in like a week or two because I was like, yeah, I'm good. And the funny thing about these remakes also is that they kind of, in the interest of remaking, they kind of also eliminated what made each game interesting. Because like I know that because I know 2 added the manual,
yes,
and then 3 added the revert,
right?
But the revert and the manual were you could just use those in 1 and 2,
1 and 2 remake because people wanted them, and that's the thing, right? Like them adding that stuff makes it to where now we get to the 3+4 thing, these remakes, and I'm just like, well, it's just the same as the last one. It's just,
it really just comes down to the design of the levels. It feels
like a map pack, and I'm like, that's cool, like that's fine, but and like I played it on Game Pass, so I was like, that was my immediate thing. I was like, I'm not disappointed in this because I didn't really pay for it, like kind of like it's just like a thing that I can play, and that's cool. Like I think that's fine. At the same time, like if you would have just put this out as like DLC for what was already there, I would also never batted an eyelash. Like I would have been like, oh yeah, no, that's really cool that they added those 2 games too to this whole thing because they feel the same to me.
Question: is the Doomslayer and Michelangelo in the Game Pass version, or is that the paid version?
You gotta pay for them. Yeah. Well, Michelangelo is actually, you can unlock Michelangelo. He's like an unlockable. You have to get $10,000 and then you can pay for him or whatever. It's not too hard to get 10,000.
And I appreciate what they did, but there were like way more characters to unlock in those original games.
Yeah, and
from my memory anyway.
Yeah, and
obviously, back then they had the Marvel license, so it was like Spider-Man and Wolverine, and I want to say Darth Maul was in one of them.
I keep thinking, but I can't remember which one. But yeah, I remember, and it also unlocked like the ability to do like their tricks. So like you could have a created skater like doing like the Spider-Man trick set and shit like that, which was kind of fun. And I don't think any of that stuff's in here, and if it is, I haven't found it. I mean, you could put you could probably get away with putting the trick
moves
in there, right? Yeah,
I could see that.
But yeah, I don't think that stuff's in there. Other than that, like it's those games which again I'm as I'm playing 3, I'm like, I vaguely remember this. A lot of the time I'm like, I recall this being a thing, but like, yeah, like that the original formula really kind of, I'm guessing, I know 3 is very well liked, and I think that's cool, but I think it kind of peaks there maybe, and then after that it's kind of like, all right, yeah, they knew they needed to change the formula after that, which is why they kind of did. And they were right to do so, even if people don't really hold those games in as higher reverence.
I still think that that them releasing a game every year like a Madden or an NBA Live was the wrong way to go.
Yeah,
I think every 2 to 3 years those games probably would have been A, more unique and special, and B, the series probably would have lasted longer.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Same thing with Guitar Hero.
At the same time though, there's a lightning in a bottle aspect to it where like I feel like if you would have done that, right? Like if you would have waited 3 or 4 years to release a new Tony Hawk game every time, I feel like there was a peak of skateboarding, right? Like people were into like the X Games and skateboarding and Tony Hawk and all that shit for a good long while. So they kind of rode that wave, really.
Yeah.
And then when it petered out, so did the games.
I'd also argue that the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the video game, had a large part to play in that.
It very much did. Yeah.
It was a lot like how, the Attitude Era of WWF at the time kind of, that made wrestling as a whole massive for like a good, like almost 10 years straight.
Yeah. And then people, got back off the train and so on and so forth. Yeah. No, 100%. Like the games were important. They really got people to watch that stuff and all that shit. But at the same time, it was like a mutually beneficial wave that they just kind of rode, and like as bad as it is that they probably grinded themselves into oblivion, pumping those things out every year, like it was probably like the good business move to do that, because you were riding that wave. And then, like I said, once skateboarding and people kind of cared less, and that was kind of it. But I don't know. It's tough to call, because obviously you can't go back and change the past. But
right.
But anyway, like I said, they're totally fine, these games. Or this game especially. Like, there's enough in there that I was having a decent time playing it. But like, I got into I think I almost had finished 3, and then I started messing around with 4, and I was just like, I don't know if I care. I just kind of turned it off, and I was like, that was fun for like the day that I played it. I was like, yeah, that was okay. I had a really good time, but I was also like, if I never turn that game on again, that's fine too. It's because, like I said, my Tony Hawks were 1 and 2. Like, I love those 2 games. They were great. But after that, like, and 3 was fine, and if I played 4, I have like barely any fucking memory of it. But then again, I smoked a lot of pot in those days, so it's entirely possible I played through the entire thing. But yeah, like, so after 1 and 2 is remade, I'm like, I guess, why not 3 and 4? Sure, I guess you might as well do it. But like, at the same time, I don't really care. Like, it just feels like a map pack. There's nothing about these ones that really separates it from the old one to me personally, other than, if those were your Tony Hawks, there you go, here they are, you can play through those maps and do the thing. I didn't mess around with the create a park thing. Maybe there's some cool new stuff in that now, but I don't know. I wasn't intrigued enough to do that. But yeah, but by no stretch is it bad. It's perfectly fine. I was kind of like, I don't know really what the point is of this.
I wonder what the overall sentiment is towards skating now, and if they'd be better served. I mean, obviously this is a remake, right? So and it's pulling on a lot of nostalgia, but
sure,
Tony Hawk is old for a skateboarder.
Yeah.
And he's also just getting old for a human.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there isn't someone better to put on the cover of a skateboard franchise at this point,
possibly,
or if there's just not enough mainstream appeal.
I don't think that's the thing, and that's kind of what I was referring to earlier, when they were riding the wave, because Tony Hawk was like such a big deal, like back then with the 900 and all that shit. Like, it was such a thing. It wasn't like the biggest thing in the world or anything, but it was a thing. Like, it was a thing people, like, even if you like, didn't pay attention to that kind of stuff, you'd probably like heard about it, or like randomly turned on the X Games and Tony Hawk or some shit was there. Like, you would maybe heard the name, or like kind of through osmosis or whatever the fuck. So it was kind of like a lightning in a bottle to put his name on it. And I think if you wanted to make a brand new Tony Hawk game, I definitely think people would be into that. And even if you just put Tony Hawk in it or whatever and just use that name again, like, it's almost such a brand name for the game itself that, like, it's almost like Madden, right?
Yeah,
like,
you make a good. I was just thinking, because like, but I do still wonder how many years of Madden do we get removed from the death of John Madden, where it's time to change that name, or does it just become like, this is what it's always been, and like people have no idea what the name even means?
I got a feeling they'll just keep fucking I look forward to like 15 years from now when like a new generation of kids are like all of a sudden playing the Madden games and are like, I have no idea who that is, or because they'll probably never bring them up. It'll be like,
you'll see like the YouTube shorts where it's like, did you know that the name behind the EA football game is based on a real person?
Right. It'll be that maybe in the like the options menu or something, they'll put a little like tribute to John Madden in there to explain to the children who the fuck he was and all this shit or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, no, I bet money they'll just keep right on putting Madden out because like it's just kind of the name of the football game that we play every year, you know? It'd be crazy it's also convenient because they have to use the NFL licensing stuff in it, but I don't know. Because what the hell are we doing if they don't have fucking NFL in it, right? Like that would be insane. I'm thinking of like, because FIFA had to change their name because the actual FIFA got fucking weird about their licensing thing, and
they went off and did their own. They're doing their own.
They're
game
doing
or
their own
like
thing, which I don't think anybody really is going to give a shit about. So honestly, if anything, FIFA is a good example of like, no, you can change the name. People know what it is. It'll be fine, but
right.
But they'll still call it the old thing. That's the funny part. People still call it FIFA. They don't care. They're like, it's
I don't even
FIFA.
know
Shut
what
up.
the name of it's like something football club.
EA Sports FC whatever football club something whatever year it is. That's usually how it goes. I'm probably botching the title too, but like everybody knows what it is. It's just FIFA. Shut up.
Yeah.
It would be the same if they changed the Madden thing. It would be like, it'd be like, oh yeah, no, it's still Madden. Shut up. Don't worry about it. And then we circle back to Tony Hawk. Like if they made a new Tony Hawk game and if they could do the one they probably could get away with is like maybe Riley Hawk, his son or whatever, might be.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of thinking. That's probably the best way to go about it.
Might be, but at the same time, at this point, like it's fine. You can just call it Tony Hawk and have Riley Hawk in the game, and everybody will be happy about it. Like it's fine. Like, nobody's gonna really bat an eyelash. Like even like if Tony Hawk suddenly passed away or something, and you made a new Tony Hawk game, and then he's in the game, like everybody be like, oh, that's a really cool tribute that he's in the game, and we keep calling it this, and that it's just synonymous. Like it would work. Like honestly, it would work. People would like that. I definitely think there's definitely a market, at least I hope there is, to make a new Tony Hawk and have it be cool and really do some new shit with it. The remakes are really neat and I'm glad they did them. But like, yeah, I like
you're still beholden to the level design and I'm sure it's on a new engine, but it's still based on the physics of the original engine. So yeah, I kind of imagine what you can do with current day like physics engines and stuff like that, and how that plays into
some of this. There's a lot of stuff you can play with in that and make it really cool. But they'd want to stay true to like that arcade feel. Like if you got rid of
I wouldn't want it to be a sim.
No, absolutely not. That's Skate. That's what that's.
And I was never interested in Skate.
Yeah, I never was either. But yeah, like there has to be a market there. I'm sure there is. I would love a new Tony Hawk. That'd be fun. Because like we're at the point now where like, well, okay, you made 1 through 4, remade 1 through 4. What's left? Like you're not gonna do 5. Obviously, you're not gonna do 5 unless you just made Tony Hawk 5 and.
Oh no! I mean, well. They would do the underground games.
Yeah, but are you really going to remake those? Like,
I don't think they should, but I think that's probably what they do.
They could. I don't know. I enjoyed the underground stuff.
Okay.
I enjoyed that stuff, actually.
And that's where you modernize it to where then you've got Mr. Beast and the Liver King and, just like really cringy internet celebrities in there, because you're not going to have like the Jackass guys in there and whatnot.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, yeah, you can. There was so much pop culture in those that I don't know if it'd hold up near as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were very much of their time, the underground stuff. But
the time has come for BMX XXX 2.
Never a truer word has been spoken on this podcast. It is time. No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Get Matt Hoffman on the phone immediately. What's he doing?
and as always, no matter what you do, Dragula must be in every version.
Yeah. Was that in BMX XXX? That sounds like it would have been.
It fucking probably was.
Yeah.
Dragula was in like goddamn near every extreme sport game of the 2000s.
It wasn't
Justin.
in any of the Tony Hawks, thankfully.
No, you're right. You're right.
It was their credit.
Goddamn everything else.
Yeah. I will say the soundtrack for 3 and 4 remake was pretty fun because they do the thing where they like add some new stuff too. Tony Hawk said that it was like a curation of him. Yeah,
like he chose like what he wanted in there, so that was cool.
It's pretty neat. Like it's not there's some stuff that I've heard in like other games, like even like WWE games and stuff like that, and there's one that I'm like not particularly high on that's in one of those games, and I was like, but you can skip it, it's fine. But yeah, like the soundtrack's still good. They're fun. I don't have as much reverence for the 3 and 4 soundtracks again as I do the 1 and 2. Like 1 and 2 are the ones for me. So and they already did those. So which is why I'm kind of landing where I am on 3 and 4, where I'm like, if you'd just put it out as a map pack and like I feel like it'd be amazing if you could just have both games combined into one, almost like Hitman, right? Like where they all just come together into one game and like, oh yeah, now you're skating all 4 of these games and doing the whole thing and upping your guy and doing all this stuff and all the soundtracks are combined. That'd be fucking great, man.
That's the third SKU that you pay for, Justin. You're
not thinking like a businessman. I actually would. You joke. I actually would. They would get me with that. I'd be like, okay, yeah, no, I'm in. That's fucking awesome. But yeah.
I get it. No, you're not wrong.
Yeah, that'd be fucking great. But I don't think they will, or probably, I don't know. But yeah, that's Tony Hawk 3 and 4, 3 plus 4 plus sign 4. That's how it's written. How I will say it. 3 plus sign 4. Decent, but like, I feel I don't care as much as I did 1 and 2, and that's me.
It's a weird space when like I said, when you put the improvements in later games into the previous games, it ends up making you don't get to see that evolution. Like I have the same issue with the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters where all 6 games kind of look the same and you don't get to really admire just
the evolution of how those things looked as it went, right? I'm right there with you. I mean, even mechanics wise, like I think the one new thing this one has that the remake of 1 and 2 doesn't have is skitching. Like you can ride on the back of a car. It doesn't come up very often or anything, but that was because the maps in 1 and 2 didn't have any cars you could ride on the back of, because that would be, why would we have that? These ones had stuff that, is made for that, but like, at the same time, it's just like, but it's not that big of a thing. It's just like, I guess it's one thing that you can do. It doesn't come up super often or anything, but yeah.
But imagine if you had a new game where it was like not fully open world. Like maybe you still have like some bespoke levels, but there's more open areas where you have true to life traffic with pedestrians and cars, and you're grinding on the roof of a car and then jumping onto another car and doing like,
honestly, you could
do some crazy shit.
You could take the idea of like the underground games where they kind of were going for something like that. It was definitely different locations and shit like that. The one thing people always judge those games for is like, well, once you could get off the skateboard, it wasn't as fun. And I'm like, I get it. I do get it. But yeah, like if you made it like almost like an open world type thing and we're doing whatever kind of thing and the level just kept going and everything was designed to go together, I think it'd be really cool. That's an idea for sure. But then again, some of the charm comes from like having those different locations be as different as they are sometimes.
Well, and that's why I think you split the difference where you have the more classic levels, but then you have other levels that are still levels, but they're much larger with like more open-ended areas. But the selling point is the fact that this is like a realistic number of people walking on the sidewalk, a realistic number of cars. So the sketching comes more into play, or just doing crazy shit off of like the sides of vehicles or the guardrails and stuff like that, or and being a general menace to society.
or like it's open world, and the open world part of it's kind of a hub world, but the hub world is really fun, and it makes going from place to place, you know, that you need to get to, which will be like your levels or parks or whatever the fuck. I don't know. There's a lot of ways you could go about making a new Tony Hawk game that I think would be pretty fucking cool, and I think they should do that. Yeah, all especially like really if you wanted to use the bones of what you did in this remake and just make a new one, that'd be fun. I'd be into that. I think you would want to make it new though. You would. Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm getting at. I don't think you do use the bones of these remakes because
gameplay wise, I think you could. That's what I'm getting at. I think you could gameplay wise do it. And maybe you might have to add a few things here or there, speed up, slow down. I don't know exactly how that would work. I think gameplay wise, you could do it, but I think you would need a new idea. Like you couldn't just be like, it's this level, and you got to do these things in the level, or because people would just be like, yeah, it just feels like a remake of some game that never came out or something like that.
Sure.
And people will hold it to the fire for that. Because it's like, well, it's not as good as the old ones, so I don't really care, you know. Like, if you made it its own thing though, and made it big and kind of grandiose, I think it could definitely work. But yeah,
I know the thought that I had when we were talking about soundtracks is, I know we haven't seen a lot of these new Sega throwback games, other than, well, I know Shinobi's coming out soon,
sure,
but there's that Crazy Taxi game that's in the works. And I will be deeply upset if they don't make a new deal with The Offspring. I really will. Like if I don't fire up that first level and hear yeah. I think they fucked up.
I know. I'm not even a big Offspring guy, and I'm like, yeah, no,
I'm
they
not
would.
either.
That's the only time I really want to listen to them is when you're playing Crazy Taxi. That's it. That's really it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I want to drop somebody off at a KFC.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Wasn't Pizza Hut in there too? It was probably
Pizza Hut was in there as well.
Probably all the Yum Foods brands. Yeah,
I think Foot Locker was in there, maybe,
possibly. But yeah,
there's a handful of real places.
Like I know, I don't think Taco Bell was in it, but like it probably could have easily gotten Taco Bell too.
Taco Bell would be the absolutely the modern day.
Oh God, yeah,
one.
I mean, it was big then too. They absolutely could have put that in there.
It was, but Taco Bell has really become the gamer TM cross promotion.
That's true. Yeah,
fast food.
Yeah. That's true. Man, yeah, that little chihuahua really fucking made us all come to realize things, didn't it? Yeah, it did a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah.
We did want Taco Bell. He was right.
Things have been chaotic at the Stage Select studio. Guests coming and going, schedule changes, shutting down production for a week. In short, impossible for Richard Harden, private detective and head of security, to focus on finding the Phantom. It was time to fix that. I've been suspicious of the janitor since day one. Something didn't add up about him. He was too calm, too relaxed. Maybe that's just who he was. Maybe he had the best poker face in the world. State your name and occupation for the record, please.
What?
State your name and occupation for the record, please.
Okay, my name is Abramo. I'm a janitor here. At least I think so. Like I clean stuff, you know. Sometimes, you know, I bring in a soda. I have, you know, some 7-Up if you would like some. If you're thirsty. I'll go and get it out of the refrigerator for you. Sometimes I walk to places. It's fun. You ever walk anywhere?
I walk the beat all the time. Yes, I'm well aware of your walkabouts.
Is that like those one guys that had the song about how they got the beat? Is it like that?
I don't know what you're talking about. No, try to stay on topic here, Bravo. I need you to tell me everything you know about the Phantom.
About the what?
The Phantom of the Stage Select Studio. You know the one.
There's a guy here?
You've heard him up in the rafters. Everybody's heard him up in the rafters.
What?
Tell me what you know.
What are like is that like, where you go on like the river and there's water and it's, there's like rocks and stuff and like people drown and stuff? Is it like that?
This was getting me nowhere. I couldn't tell if he was an idiot or a genius. The whole thing stank, like the patchouli cloud that followed him everywhere.
Is it like that though? Like, I mean, you seem like you were thinking about it for a long time there. That, is it like that? Because, I never been on the water, but like, I might be fun, like maybe if you brought some 7-Up and you drank it on the boat, that would be good.
No. You need to focus, Abram. You're not telling me everything. You're covering for the Phantom, aren't you? Aren't you?
What? Okay, like, what do you mean by covering for him? Is that like when, you're in a band and like, your
Jesus
friends,
Christ.
like, hey, we want to play a bunch of like Tom Petty songs or whatever. But you're like, okay, is it like that?
No, it's not like that. You know what, Abramo? It's fine. We're done here. You can move along. It's okay.
Are you sure? Like, I mean, I can go get some 7-Up and we can keep talking about it. Cause there's like a lot I'd like to ask about, rafting. Like you were talking about, because like, like it's on a boat, but you blow it up with air. I don't know if you knew that.
I did know that.
Oh,
fine. We'll have some 7-Up. We'll talk about it.
Okay, that sounds
later.
That sounds good. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I wasn't getting anything from the janitor. I had to resign myself to defeat this time. One thing was for sure. Abramo wasn't the Phantom. We'd had a sighting when he was walking back from Minnesota. Who does that? Not Richard Harden, private detective, that's for sure.
Are you still here? Because I didn't leave. You just stood there for a while. It was kind of weird. Okay, I'll go now. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Abramo.
The Stage Select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
All right, Justin. Well, I think before we move along, we should take some time to thank our lovely patrons.
We should probably do that, yeah.
Yeah. Richard walked by a little earlier. He seemed a little heated.
It seemed a little heated? Why do you think that? Well, I mean,
I don't know.
Probably because he's failing miserably at his task that you gave him. So, that's fine.
I mean, it's been pretty crazy around here lately. Cut him some slack.
We've been our own Phantom at times. What are you going to do?
We have been our own Phantom at times.
What are you going to do? What's to be done?
We do it to ourselves sometimes.
Right. I wouldn't want it any other way.
We appreciate all of our lovely patrons, but every week we like to thank the executive producer tier. And this week we have Addy XD.
We have Big Baker.
We have Bill Tucker of A Gamer Looks at 40.
We have Bookie.
We have Casey Curran.
We have David Portnov.
We have Dennis Robertson.
We have Dr. Delicious.
We have Eric Peacock of the Soundtracker podcast.
I noticed that this is in alphabetical order, and I'm into it. We have Exrian.
It almost always is, Justin.
I know,
we have Gabe Johnson of Retrofits.
I love it. Gabe Johnson of Retrofits. We have Matt Jorgensen.
Are you sure you didn't start smoking pot again?
No,
we
it's
have
great.
Philip P.K. Becker.
No, it's great. I maybe I caught a buzz from a Ramo walking by. We have Raymond Crumb.
We have 60. Still wondering who decided how many teeth are in a human mouth. I think they didn't like my explanation last week.
It was God. You know.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Yeah. Or his son Jesus. Either one. You know, take your pick. We have Stephen Lobo.
And we have returning champion Xavier Krager. He was the one of the ones that dropped, and it was just a weird billing thing. So he got right back on. That. So appreciate it, Xavier.
It's Patreon being Patreon. And it's the internet billing thing being internet billing. What are you gonna do?
Oh, speaking of which,
okay.
And this will actually factor in because I've been extra sad and lonely lately, which means porn video games for Julian.
Sure, why not?
Haven't played anything really worthwhile the last week.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks, really. But I was watching a video from Sex Positive Gaming on YouTube, which is a channel that I've talked about before.
Yeah.
And she was talking about a lot of games that have been removed from Steam recently.
Really?
Due to content. And it has to do, as a lot of stuff of adult nature, with the payment processors, right? Visa, MasterCard, all that shit.
Sure.
But she noted some of the descriptors. And so some of the stuff, it's like, you can see it's like laser targeted adult games, right?
Yeah.
So it's anything that has the appearance of non-consent, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Obviously, like exploitation of a minor, which isn't really in porn games, but you can see the slippery slope of like if you have a character that looks young,
yeah,
right, or has a skinny body type,
right.
You know, they're like 30, but they have just like
the non-consensual thing is probably a bigger topic here because there was that one game that was real bad. I cannot remember the name of it. And that one probably deserved to not be on there because it was like the whole thing was like you were I don't know, you were basically just a piece of shit.
There's that, and there's also like quasi levels of consent in some games where it's like, you know, you're peeping on people when they're sleeping and
Snow Days is a class. You're hypnotizing people, and it's very questionable as to what the fuck is consensual in that game. It's real fucking weird. Yeah,
those are pretty obvious. I do think that the minor one, again, that can be a slippery slope because of body type.
Oh yeah,
where and then also like they have straight up like removed games that look like they take place in a high school.
Sure.
Even if it's set in a college, and it's like, okay, like that's what I find weird because like how many like high school dramas have like in movies or in TV have everybody hooking up and have like straight up nudity in movies and stuff like that, right? Because as long as they're seniors, it doesn't.
Right.
But anyway, but the ones that I think are important, Justin, is unwilling dismemberment, which is a funny way to phrase that.
Yeah, okay.
Or bestiality, which, and I'm like, okay, so Mortal Kombat and Baldur's Gate 3 should get removed right away, right?
Right. Because, yeah.
And that was her point. Is she's like, well, I can't wait for, and I do think that everybody should report en masse about, you know, Call of Duty and Mortal Kombat and Baldur's Gate 3. You know, like there's like a bajillion games that would fall under that category, but you can tell what the actual purpose of it is,
right?
But because it's so broad, if they're doing their due diligence, then like a good like 60-70% of the games on Steam should just go tomorrow.
Yeah.
And as far as the BC, because you know the bestiality thing is obviously, I mean, that's literally like the trailer that made Baldur's Gate 3 blow up,
100%.
In a way. But then extrapolate that a little further, where it's like, okay, but what about a cat girl? Or what about a furry? What about a werewolf character?
Also, the only thing I can defend Baldur's Gate 3 on is like they don't actually show you having sex with the bear, right? Like it's just implied, you know, like it's like, okay, that's okay, and it's funny. But
where's the line, right? Like is implied bestiality?
I guess the line is like, no, if you actually show it, that's kind of a thing. Like I guess that's probably the line, which is an understandable line, I think. Yeah, because it's a funny joke up until it's actually not a joke anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how it goes. Yeah, I don't know. Porn games are weird. Yeah, I kind of wondered about that. Once that one game got some eyes on it, and I cannot remember the name of this game. It's gone on Steam now. It was real bad, and it was basically just like Rapist Simulator 2025 or whatever the fuck it was. It was really awful. It was like but it was in that, as far as I remember, it was in that classic style that you and I are very familiar with, of like the 3D modeler bullshit, and just like, but like it was just like really rotten apparently. And yeah, people really took note of that one, and it was like, yeah, not, and I remember seeing it, and I'm like, if I was like, I totally get banning this, absolutely, but like there's definitely some other stuff on here you guys might want to take a closer look at if this is where we're going, because like, yeah,
right,
like,
it's a lot like back in the PS2 era,
right?
Like I will always remember, because I have always said, I said this on Nerds Without Pants, and I said it back in the day when the hot coffee debacle for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas came out. I was like, it is completely bullshit and unfair that cut content that you need to hack the game in order to see. There was no reason for them to slap the adults only sticker on those versions of the game and then force them to completely remove the stuff.
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of funny when you see like what hot coffee was and then compare it to like The Witcher 3.
Right. Yeah.
It's silly, but you had stuff, and that was sexual content, obviously. Like they always like make a bigger stink about sexual content.
Yeah, they do.
But there was a blanket clutching of the pearls around Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
But then you had a game like Narc, which is a game about cops that use drugs as a power-up to get better at the game, that was released at the kid-friendly price point of $19.99.
Absolutely.
No one talked about it.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Because nobody bought it. Nobody cared.
Nobody gave a shit. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto was huge.
Yeah, but content-wise and like the market, like, the way that it was like kind of, it's like, oh yeah, this is like a cheap game that you can afford, that if you can get your parents to buy it, or if you can get like an older brother to buy it, like, yeah, it'll be fun for you. And it's like the drugs are literally like, fuck yeah, let's do some cocaine to like move faster.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it always comes down to like what ends up getting enough eyes on it to cause a stink.
Yeah.
Right. So
Grand Theft Auto got enough eyes. That was a
absolutely, yeah. And so that's the thing, right? Is that like the game you're talking about got enough eyes on it, but there's plenty of other stuff. Like there's not enough people that are paying attention.
It took one that was like truly rotten and bad to like really draw and then I'm gonna guess Steam at that point was like, maybe we should actually look at some of these other ones that are on here and maybe go through what we should have on here and shouldn't have on here. You'll
pry Karin's prison out of my cold dead fingers.
Yeah. Well, I think it's one of those things, is if you own it, I think it'll be fine. But and they're still releasing shit like that all the time, so it's hard to say.
But I know that like one of the higher profile ones that I had been like kind of had my eye on, Taffy Tales, was finally going to come on Steam, and like they were like 2 days from release on Steam. I had like wish listed it because I was like, I'm curious about like where this game is going, because I had played like earlier builds of it, even though I don't think it's a particularly good game. But I was like, it got to a point where it's like, well, I'm invested in the story enough at this point where I kind of want to see what happens. And also like, it's one of those things where, the writing and the graphics were getting better as the game was being produced. And then 2 days before it was supposed to launch, like the Steam page got removed, and it was because it took place in what looked like a high school setting.
Oh, okay.
And so they had to like go in and like and basically all they did was like just redo the art for the classrooms to make it look more like a college setting.
Yeah.
But it was always set in a college. I think it's one of those things where it's like, because a lot of these games are like made overseas, and I don't know. I don't know if their universities look different than ours or whatever.
College in other countries always seems like a different thing, a very different thing.
But I thought that was interesting because, like, I can see other reasons why it would have been taken down, but that was the reason. I was like, that's a weird reason.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I caught up on Summertime Saga because they did a release recently. I tried out one. So there was this game that I saw on itch that looked interesting called Priscilla something. And it looked like it was like a female protagonist, like kind of corruption story, kind of like Steps of Debauchery. And I was like, okay, I like Steps of Debauchery. This one looks interesting. But then on the itch page, it said like, oh, this is actually like her side of the story, and it hits different if you've played Celebrity Hunter. And I was like, okay, well, I guess let me go look at Celebrity Hunter. And it seemed like it was done like from like the description and everything, and because they were like, oh, we've been developing this since 2018, blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, well, they're already working on this other game, so clearly this one's it's not done. Long story short, play like a paparazzo that's so you're just trying to like get pictures Julian. And dirt on.
I apologize. I have to go to the bathroom. I am really sorry. I will be right back.
Well, now that he's gone, we can really wrap. That was abrupt. And I bet Mike Fallick is like, they do urinate. Because he's always honest about like, why don't you guys ever pee? What? I have to pee like a racehorse. How are you guys just sitting here? And I don't know. I just finished drinking a 44-ounce Diet Dr. Pepper. Well, now it's finished. But that's just what we do, man. I don't know. Probably get a kidney stone at some point doing this show. It's fine. I don't really got anything else. I don't really got anything else. Just wait for Justin to come back. It looked like he was going to be fast. He like darted out of his room.
Sorry about that.
You're fine.
That was a very much an uh-oh. I was like, oh no, I gotta go. Like
No, that was abrupt.
Yeah, it was very much for me too. I was like, I'm gonna have to cut him off because this is getting to where I cannot contain it.
Perhaps the downside of mango flavored water. Perhaps
the orange.
You should return.
It wasn't that. It was the chicken quesadilla fold over, whatever the fuck it was from the pizza place that I ate earlier was not agreeing with my stomach today. So
gotcha.
I was like, oh boy, yeah, we're that normally doesn't happen, but oh boy, yeah, we're not. I can't. I gotta go.
That's why you try not to branch out too far.
No,
at places that specialize in a certain cuisine.
Yes, no, yeah, but their other cuisine is bad. This is the only thing I like from them. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
The cuisine they're known for is terrible. What do you I can't help it. Anyway,
it's like this podcast.
No, this podcast is fine.
No, this podcast is excellent.
Yeah. Anyway, you were talking about the game not being done, the Priscilla game or whatever.
Well, no, so I think I started on what this game is, Celebrity Hunter, which is
yes.
So yeah, you're a paparazzo, so you're trying to keep your job by like you actually have to bring leads to your boss, like I think every 5 interactions, and if you don't have a lead, then it's game over. Like the game is like very big on choices matter, and you can run into game over scenarios
sure.
if you're not doing things right. Like you can die in this game, and you can choose to romance or not the characters. You can choose to fuck around, but it feels a little bit, and it's not nearly as good, but it feels a little bit like being a dick, where this was like one of the few games of this where it's like, I think I just kind of want to focus on this one girl and see what happens here, because Priscilla is like the big celebrity of the game that he ends up meeting, and they kind of hit it off.
Sure.
And so what starts as him trying to get close to her to get leads, for his job ends up becoming friendship and then more. And so it ended up being a thing where I was like, yeah, I think I'm actually not gonna really mess around with these other girls, because it seems like the game is wanting me to kind of focus on this character and see how this relationship unfolds.
Yeah.
So it's a sandbox type game where, you can actually like travel and there's like money that you can earn, stuff like that. So it's not a visual novel, one of these.
Right.
But there's like a lot of these, there's a weird kind of needless supernatural element to it where he meets a fairy in his dreams.
Okay.
You get the idea that she's done something to him to make him more attractive to the opposite sex.
Okay. It's like Super Scout, but with porn.
Little bit, yeah.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
And it's obvious from the jump that she's not actually a fairy; she's a succubus, and like it's probably bad to do exactly what she wants.
Yeah.
The game's got an interesting hook that then ends very quickly, and I think part of that was because I was focusing on the one character, so I didn't see like a lot of the interactions with other characters.
Right.
Because you do go on dates with characters, and you get scored based on like, well, are you leaning more towards friendship with this character or more towards seduction? That type of thing.
Right.
And it's pretty deep in that respect, and it's like one of the few like porn games where I got to like the end of it. It's like my character never had sex.
Right.
He got a couple handies.
Right.
But like that was about it. Because the other part about dating Priscilla is that because she's a celebrity, she needs to keep like your relationship on the down low.
Right. Yeah.
And so you can try to have public displays of affection with her, but she doesn't like that because it's that she asked you specifically to like keep it hidden.
Right. Yeah.
But then also there's an element of, and this is where her game comes into play, is that you start to learn that she's had to do things that she's not all that proud of to get where she is in her career. But oddly, you don't get to see any of that stuff in this game. So, but I don't know, it was interesting.
Sure.
But it's like one of those things where it's like a lot of these games, it's sometimes it'll be like, they'll end. Like this didn't end. It was just like, hey, to be continued. But a lot of these games will end, and it's like, you've got a good setup for a game and a story here, but you decided that was the end. So I guess that's it.
Yeah. That sounds
all right.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I really love about playing a lot of these games is starting to like pick out. It's like, oh yeah, there's the park. Like, and then it's like, oh, yep. I know that store.
Yeah.
And I know that bar. And it's almost like people are using the same like location scouting in the same city. On one hand, I kind of like it. It's kind of like how I've said before. It's like, oh, these are just different actors playing different roles. Like,
right? Yeah.
I've said that I liked that in the RGG games, like when they did like a Dragon Ishin, where it's like I'm just pretending that these are the actors who play Kiryu and Majima and all these characters. But they're playing different roles this time, but it's the same virtual actors.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool concept, and I wish that like more like big game studios would leverage their characters like that and be like, this is not the character that but it is like the same character model and same voice actor.
Yeah, it's their likeness. Yeah, kind of almost like a HoloLive type thing or something. I don't know. I could. Yeah, I don't know.
Let them kind of be virtual personalities that can occupy different roles.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool for sure.
But yeah, game wise, that's all.
Okay. Yeah,
that's all I gotten up.
That's all I got up to too.
I haven't gotten back to 100 lines since I was on vacation, and I haven't gotten back to Death Stranding. I'm hoping this weekend I can jump back into it. I'm getting pretty tired of the Death Stranding 2 slander on all the podcasts that I listen to.
I see. Slander, slander in what way?
Lots of ways, actually.
Lots of ways, okay.
But largely, like basically just being like, well, Kojima sucks, and we all know that he sucks, right? Like,
oh, okay,
because he can't tell a story, and we know that he can't tell a story, and it's like
interesting, weird,
yeah. And it's like, no, and again, I do have issues with Death Stranding 2 as far as like the gameplay goes.
Yeah.
Because I do think that it's way too accommodating. But I think one thing that I forgot to talk about last week is that it still manages to have that sense of community, even though you're playing by yourself. It's
Sure,
such an interesting bit of multiplayer. Like, I don't know if you had noticed this in the first game, because it was in there, but I didn't notice it until I started playing the director's cut.
Okay.
But it started to happen much faster here, where the more that you and other players traverse the same areas, the terrain changes. And so you start to naturally flatten out pathways that become walking and driving paths.
Right.
And that's just such a cool thing where it's like, I've been up and down this hill a few times, and like now it's like a nicely packed path that my trike can get up very easily, because like all of the rocks have been smoothed out.
Right.
Because me and all these other porters online have just been coming this way.
Right. Yeah.
And but then you also like be like, oh, clearly I'm off the beaten path here, because not a lot of people come this way.
Right. Yeah.
That stuff is really cool.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
When you do like hit the touchpad to like call out, and then if you get a response, it's like, I don't know, that stuff is still really cool. I don't think the sense of isolation is quite as pronounced in this one, because you have Doll Man on your hip, but also you have like literally like a Mass Effect style crew waiting for you on the ship.
Sure.
So there's like a lot more character to it, and I haven't really gotten deep enough to see like how those interactions go, because at least so far I haven't been able to just like freely walk around the ship.
Okay.
And I don't know if you get that option or not. I did think it was weird that I can't just like go to the bridge and talk to Fragile or Tarman, who are the only other people on the ship right now.
Huh. Interesting.
I'm expecting that to change at some point, because there's more crew members on the way.
Okay.
And it seems like there's, if not a Mass Effect level of like relationship building, at least getting to talk to them to get their backstory. And if you want it.
I have been proud of myself for not actually watching anything from that game. Like I've kept myself blissfully in the dark about it, other than like what you've told me and like the previews that I watched, like the trailers that I've watched. That's about it.
It's getting to the point now though where like people are getting a lot more loosey goosey with like their screenshots and stuff.
Sure.
And it's like, man, I really need to get through this, because I don't want to get like spoiled on like major plot points. Yeah. Because people are unfortunately like way more casual about that. I think I've talked to you about that before, where it's like TV shows and movies are particularly bad about it, where like people will meme about stuff and think they're being like very coy, and it's like, if you are media savvy at all and you know anything about this property, you can figure out what they're talking about, and you've been spoiled.
Yeah. I've been there and had that before with other stuff where like it doesn't take much. No. It really doesn't. You don't have to directly say exactly what happened to give you enough information of like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I know something happened there or with this character or whatever. So now I'm waiting for that. Yeah.
And I do try to be cognizant of that for like heavily narrative stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think I've done a pretty good job of tiptoeing around my issues with Expedition 33 without spoiling anything of like what the story is.
I still haven't finished that game, and you haven't spoiled anything for me, so yeah, I've been fine.
That's what I try to do. It's a fine line sometimes, but we've talked about this. Like, there's certain games or even like movies or stuff where it's like, even years later, it's like, I'm like, I don't want to spoil it, unless it's like a specific spoiler discussion. I would rather like let people discover this on their own.
Sure.
So, there are certain things where it's like, no, that is a good enough thing where I'm just not going to talk about it. Like, if you know, if you don't, I look forward to you discovering it on your own.
For sure. Yeah.
It's really cool. And I guess on that note, I know that you are planning on seeing it, so this might be a thing where we talk about the same movie 3 weeks in a row.
As of this recording, I'm supposed to go see this movie tomorrow. So, yeah.
I saw Superman twice since last episode.
Yeah.
The first time that I saw it, it was actually the day after we recorded, and I came out of the theater and I was like, I love the first 2 acts of this movie, and I might hate the third act.
Okay. And
then I kind of sat and thought about it. I was like, hate might be a strong word, but I do think it's a mess.
Okay.
And then Tuesday I had to go in downtown to work in the office because I was taking my second exam, which I thankfully passed. So those are out of the way now. I don't have to take them again. Huzzah.
Good job.
Because that was very stressful.
Yeah.
Both exams, if I had missed one more, I would have failed each of them. So like,
yeesh. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do this anyway when I'm working in the office because I don't like to mess with the rush hour. I'll usually hit up old stomping grounds. Like I'll either check out the half price books in that neck of the woods, or I'll go watch a movie, or I'll go to dinner.
Sure.
And I was like, I'm gonna have dinner and a movie to celebrate getting this out of the way.
For sure.
And I was like, okay, yeah, Superman is starting at a decent time, so I'll go watch Superman again. And then the second time I watched it, I liked it quite a bit better.
Okay.
I still think the final act is messy in a way that like a lot of special effect heavy movies are, where it's just, I don't really know what I'm looking at sometimes. And part of it is direction, part of it is CG, part of it is I know that these special effects houses are getting worked into the ground, and so
probably,
some of the stuff doesn't end up looking as good as it probably could if they were like rested and had like normal work schedules and stuff like that.
Right.
But, and I guess I should start with, I don't think that there's ever been a truly great Superman movie.
Yeah.
And I don't think that this is a truly great Superman movie. I think it's a really good Superman movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that way about the Batman movies as well.
Sure.
I guess you could say that like they're great in terms of like move in a film, right?
Yeah.
But not necessarily great in terms of adapting the source material to film.
Right.
Is probably what I
get
actually
I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they all miss certain elements of the characters, but this one probably comes the closest, with the exception of they don't really give Clark Kent much to do. Like he's barely in the movie.
Yeah.
I think he maybe has like one scene. Like there's scenes where he's dressed as Clark Kent, but he's not Clark Kent. He's clearly Superman off duty.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Sure.
Like he
doesn't have his glasses on. Yeah.
Well, he's like around Lois, who at this point knows who he is.
Okay.
So,
all right. Got it.
So he's not putting up the act. And I think that it's important to see him putting up the act.
Yeah, sure.
I really loved Brandon Routh's Clark Kent, like in Superman Returns. Like that movie's got a lot of problems, but I think that Brandon Routh is one of my favorites to play both versions of Superman.
Sure.
He just got a raw deal. But this Superman is like so good that it's gonna bring it'll probably bring a tear to your eye.
Okay.
Just because of like how shitty the world is these days, and it's like this guy is just there to do the right thing as much as possible and save as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Regardless of how it looks or whatnot. It's in his core, right?
Mm.
And there's something very beautiful about that.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I think it's the best supporting cast of any of the Superman movies.
Okay.
It's my favorite Lois Lane. It's my favorite Jimmy Olsen. Perry White is really good, even though he's not in it very much. But when he is, he's really great.
Sure.
Ma and Pa Kent are great. And then Lex, I like the actor playing him.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like this version of Lex.
Mm.
He doesn't seem as smart as I think Lex Luthor should be. My Lex Luthor, he's slightly older than Superman.
Yeah.
And also has like backup plan on backup plan on backup plan.
Sure.
To like insulate himself. I think the best versions of Lex Luthor and the best versions of the Penguin and Batman are the ones where they can never get him or get them, right? Like Superman can never actually pin anything on Lex Luthor. Batman can never pin anything on the Penguin.
Right.
Even though Batman knows that Penguin is like rotten.
Right.
Penguin doesn't actually have like a criminal record.
Right.
Because he keeps himself so clean, like on the books.
Right.
And it's just like, oh, I'm going to get you one of these days. He's like, where's the proof?
Yeah.
And it's like, one of these days, Penguin.
Right.
That being said, and I also really like, there's a lot of things I really like about this. One is unabashedly a comic book movie.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it is a comic book movie set in a comic book universe where it's been going. And so it is not trying to retread the beginnings of Superman or like Superman being the first metahuman to ever show up. Heroes have been around in this version of the DC universe.
That's kind of an interesting idea, as a way to launch like what you're trying to, relaunch your DC universe, I guess, and try to bring it up to speed instead of just like slowly introducing each character and building everything up. It's like, no, here's everybody or whatever, kind of off the bat. That's kind of an interesting way to go.
And you see it reflected in the public, where it's a double-edged sword, which I've been saying a lot about a lot of things lately, but it's true. I get what they're going for, because it's a metropolis where people are so used to superheroes coming in and saving the day that it's kind of old hat. Like, they'll pull out their phones and record or take pictures, but they're not really gonna like get out of the way of obvious danger because they just expect that like the heroes are gonna win,
right?
Which ends up making some of the dumbest like civilians I've ever seen in a superhero movie.
Okay, why not?
There's a shot in all the trailers where Superman rushes to protect this little girl from all of these canisters flying her way, and it's a beautiful hero shot,
right?
But it's like, little girl, why the fuck are you there right now?
Yeah.
And I won't say why, but when you see it, it's like, why is anybody there right now?
Right.
And there's a lot of situations like that where it's like, why are you all just standing around? Like, and again, I get that was the point, but I think it goes a little bit too far, where it's like, just self-preservation, you would back up, right?
Okay, yeah. If you work in a factory that has, some dangerous shit in it, like you're let's say you're working with molten metal, you're pouring that shit around all the time. Yeah, you're pretty used to it. You're doing it every day. That doesn't.
But if it spills out onto the floor, you're probably going to back the fuck up.
That doesn't mean you're fucking going to just go up and be like, oh yeah, let me just, jump around in front. No, there's obviously a danger here. Yeah, that's how that shit works. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care how used to something you are, you still know it's fucking dangerous. At least, or if you're that dumb, then you deserve whatever comes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But again, I love the fact that like the costumes are as close to they can get to the comics. I think Superman's costume is still a little bit too busy, and Guy Gardner is wearing like a kind of it's not his Green Lantern uniform. There's a reason why he's not wearing it, but it still reads as Guy Gardner. And then Mr. Terrific is like straight out of the comics and also a standout in the movie. Like,
nice.
I really liked Mr. Terrific in Arrow because he was like one of the main characters, I think, after like season 4 or something like that. He was like part of the main group for years.
Yeah.
But this Mr. Terrific, I was like, the second time I watched it, I was like, I love this actor. I would listen to this guy read the fucking phone book. He's got such a really cool voice. And I was like, if they want to make like another John Wick spinoff, because they just did the ballerina like a little bit ago, I was I would love to see this guy in a David Leitch directed action movie, because he just seemed like, because I was like, dude, if they brought back Shaft, like, this is my Shaft.
There
like,
you go.
He's just got such a cool demeanor about him, and like, I think that he could do it. And then also, very important for me, is that more often than not, they are using the superhero and villain names even amongst each other.
Oh, okay.
That has been my big problem with not only the MCU, but the Arrowverse. In Arrow, they would constantly be talking over comms and using their real names, and I'm like, you don't know who hacked into you. There are literally episodes where someone hacks into your comms.
Yeah.
Use the code names, guys. You have them for reasons.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Two of the main villains is Engineer and Ultraman, and they are referred to as Engineer and Ultraman.
Yeah.
Like pretty much the entire movie.
Well,
and I love that.
I always liked in like comics when everybody was referred to by their, superhero name or whatever, but like because it always added something extra when they would use the real name, like
right,
you know,
like if they're having like a really heart to heart, and it's like, Tony,
yeah,
talk to me.
All
right?
of a sudden, it gets real. Like that shit's cool. You know what I mean? Like I like that.
Me too. And that's what this is going for.
That's cool.
And so as a first stab at a new interpretation of the DC universe, I'm actually like really on board.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to see more of Superman. It actually got me choked up a few times. Like there's some really good stuff with his family that is like really beautiful.
That's awesome. Cool.
There's one line, I won't spoil it for you, but there's like one line. I actually saw a really good YouTube video today about like how it's like the one line that really like clinches the character,
right?
And the interpretation of it, and kind of, and it's just like a really great, touching scene. And it's like, yeah, that's Superman.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see. And I liked Man of Steel. I didn't like Batman v Superman. I didn't like Justice League, but I did like Man of Steel, even though both of his parents in the Snyder movies are like, you don't have to help people,
right?
Like, you don't owe them anything. And it's like, what a weird thing to tell someone with this much power,
right?
Pa Kent says it in Man of Steel, and then Ma Kent says it in BVS, where she's like, something along like you don't have to help him, like, or whatever. And it's like, nobody does. And this Superman is like, no, but I do. I have to help everybody that I possibly can.
Yeah.
Because I know that I can't help everybody, but God damn it, I'm going to help, everybody that I can possibly help.
Right.
I'm going to.
Cool.
The big complaints that I have, without going into spoilers or anything, Crypto the dog is in it, which that was in the trailer. And it's like a big thing because he's never really been shown in a live action capacity.
Sure.
I think he's used a little bit too much
in
the movie. My other problem is that Superman needs like a lot of help in this one.
Sure.
And I would be fine with that if the focus of the story was that he's never needed help.
Right.
And he's kind of been shouldering all this burden on his own.
Right.
And then he understands that he can't do it by himself. But that's not the vibe of this Superman. Like, he's very open to having help. So it just kind of makes him feel like not quite the star of his own movie in a weird way.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of an issue that I have with it. But but very, very good movie.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it.
I didn't mind watching it twice, and I would, I'll definitely be buying the Blu-ray to watch it at home.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to watching it tomorrow. So yeah.
Yeah. Contrasted with like when I saw it the second time, there was a trailer for Fantastic Four that I'd avoided watching, but I was there in the theater, so I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
Where the entire point of the trailer is the Thing not wanting to say it's clobberin' time because, quote, that's only in the cartoons, kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand why Marvel keeps doing this with their movies where they almost seem ashamed of that it's based in a comic book.
Right.
The Thing has a certain really jovial way of talking that is core to his character.
Oh, okay. So yeah. My friend Lonnie was talking about that. Because he that is his main sticking point with. He's like, I don't know if I want to see that movie because the Thing's voice bothers me. Like, that was his big thing. He's like, no,
he doesn't sound New York enough.
He's supposed to be like gravelly and fucking, all this other stuff like that. At least in his head, he's like, every time I hear him in the movie, it doesn't sound like how I think the Thing should sound, and it bothers him. So yeah. I just get bothered by the fact that the trailer, the music just says Fantastic Four in this really fucking dumb fucking way. I don't know what it is about the music in that trailer that bothers me, but I hate it.
I love that because it is very much, a nod to this like I don't know if it's supposed to be set in the 60s in an alternate universe, or if it's an alternate universe that is modern day but it feels like the 60s. Sure. I'm curious to see how that shakes out, but whatever it is, that theme fits in with that setting.
It does, I suppose. I just hate it.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I hate it. I just hate it.
Yeah.
I hear it. I'm just like, God, I don't know what it is. It just bothers me. I'm just like, you could have just, I don't know. You could have just not said the name of, the superhero team in the song. I don't know what it is. It's just so weirdly.
No, I mean, you hate
cheesy.
lyrics in all forms.
I
so.
do, but especially here. Like, I'm just, it's like that. It's like almost like saying like the name of the movie in your line or whatever when it's not like really earned or whatever. Like it feels like that, but you're doing it in your theme song. I'm like, oh, come on.
I will refer you to the one lyric from the 1966 Batman series.
Yeah, sure, exactly. Yeah, that's fine. But that was in the 60s, and it was fun.
But that's what I'm saying. This
it's
also
not, though. This
is
this is it's weird. I don't know. I don't like it.
I do like that at least this one, people are like, this is the Fantastic Four, and this is Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman and Human Torch and the Thing. Yeah. But I fucking know that when we get to Avengers Doomsday, he's going to say that he's Mr. Fantastic, and someone's going to be like, fantastic, huh? And like have some glib, sarcastic comment about the name, and it's like, why do you guys do this every time?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Yeah, I was talking about this in our Discord with Casey because he didn't see anything wrong with my complaint about the Thing not saying it's clobbering time, because he's like, no, probably what it'll be is that there'll be a scene where he's like, oh damn it, it's clobbering time or whatever. It's like, no, that's exactly what it's going to be, but it shouldn't be that. And I was like, like I want him to say that he's Mama Grimm's ever-loving baby boy, because that's the type of stuff that he says.
Yeah,
he's from Yancey Street, right? And I mentioned, it's like, how long did it take for Wolverine to say bub, and like how often did he actually say it? Like twice in how many Wolverine movies?
We have to
like
hold it off for the audience pop. That's the thing. Yeah. It's exactly that. Yeah.
God, it took them 4 Avengers movies to say Avengers Assemble. And yeah, it was a super awesome hype pop-off moment.
Yeah.
But it's like, why did you tease that long? Like, why are you so ashamed of the things that these heroes say?
Yeah.
I have not heard Doctor Strange say by the hoary hosts of Hogarth.
Huh.
And it's a thing that he says.
I believe it. Yeah. Give it another 5 movies. Maybe you will, Julian.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that's Superman. I do.
Sounds good.
I do recommend.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's also a good movie theater watch.
Yeah. Oh, I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be any worse than Jurassic Park. I'll tell you that much right now. God, what a boring film. Oh man. I guess movies I watched. I watched some weird stuff. I watched Killers of the Flower Moon. That was pretty good. That's a Scorsese movie. It's about Native Americans who find oil, and then white people try to get all the oil for themselves, as white people do, and then things ensue, and it's a whole thing. True story that happened in America. Kind of fucked up. If you want to see that,
I saw a trailer for a DiCaprio movie. I forget what the name of it was.
Yeah.
But it's taken me a really long time to really be like, he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
Because in my head, he is always Jack from Titanic. And I know that's not fair.
No, I know.
But
I'm glad I never really cared about Titanic, because I've always been like, yeah, no, he's really good. Like he's an excellent actor. Let's see what else weird stuff. A lot of stuff was just me rewatching stuff I've seen before. But the other newer one that I watched was watched this movie about. It was also based on a true story. It was like on Amazon Prime or something. Called The Luckiest Man in America, which was about I forget his name now, Michael something or another, but he figured out how to win on the game show Press Your Luck.
I've heard about him.
Yeah.
He memorized the patterns.
Yes, he memorized. There was only 5 patterns on it, and he memorizes them. And it's a really like it's a dramatization of what happened because like you read. When I read the actual story, I was like, okay, this is the movie portrays this way differently, but like, but it's still like kind of a fascinating watch if you're interested in that. I thought it was a pretty good movie overall.
I loved Pressure Luck.
Yeah. There you go. Check that one out because it's interesting just how it plays out. I guess at least on there. Whether like I said, how much of it's true in the movie and how much of it is actually true is a different thing. But there are true elements of it. And that's really all I watched so far that I can remember off the top of my head. I'm sure I watched some other weird stuff. Been watching a lot more stuff recently. It's a whole thing. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird, man.
No, it is.
It's really weird. I'm like, but I'm liking it. It's kind of like, yeah, no, this is fine. This is all right. I'm down.
Yeah. Everything's topsy-turvy.
Everything, yeah. We're living in a material world. I'm a material girl, apparently. I don't know what that means, but I just said it. We all have to live with that.
You didn't finish the wedding singer line.
No.
Or boy.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh man, it's probably about time for me to watch Wedding Singer again.
I don't know if I've ever actually watched that movie.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest like Adam Sandler guy, so yeah.
Even if you're not, that's one of the Adam Sandler comedies that's not his usual shtick.
No, and he's good in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I actually still want to watch that one movie that was sort of recent that he was in. He was like a serious role. I kind of really actually want to see that. Uncut Gems or whatever.
Oh, Uncut Gems. Yeah. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, me neither. Well, maybe we'll watch that for a certain other thing sometime.
Yeah, I might jot down Punch Drunk Love for that because that was a movie I remember hating. But I might have not understood it at the time.
Julian, I remember hating that fucking movie too. I remember
people loved it.
People fucking loved it, and I remember watching it and being like, I don't get it. That was kind of garbage, actually.
Yeah.
But people,
that might be worth revisiting.
That might be worth revisiting now that we're older, Julian. Maybe we just didn't get it the first time when it fucking came out.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't high enough, or maybe I was too high. I don't know. Who knows?
We meant to talk about it last week, but we kind of got carried away with just other stuff. But I did want to talk about it. Well, Microsoft had a ton of layoffs, but a lot of them affected the Xbox division.
Yeah.
And it was a really big story. It's still a big story. That since it came out, so the initial knee-jerk reaction was kind of what you expect. And it was kind of what I was thinking too, where I was like, oh man, Phil Spencer doesn't know what he's doing. They're canceling stuff that even he liked so much during meetings that they had to like pull him away from the controller to actually talk about the business stuff because he couldn't stop playing it, but they still canceled the game.
Right.
Like all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, man, it sounds pretty bad. And I've been pretty soft on Phil Spencer because I like.
Oh yeah, no.
As far as CEOs go, he puts on a good public face, and
for sure.
I can tell that he actually is truly passionate about video games.
Yeah,
and that's like a rare thing in the C-suite of video game companies.
Absolutely.
And the thing was that the more that I was looking at what was going on, I was like, this wasn't an Xbox division decision. This came from higher up.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of stuff that you've heard that sounds terrible because it is terrible is like, oh, people didn't know what was happening because like a big story was that John and Brenda Romero's company had to lay off most of their staff because they had a game that was being published by Xbox that they had a meeting the day before the news came out,
right?
With like Xbox representatives, and everything seemed fine. And I'm like, yeah, those representatives didn't know shit.
They probably didn't. Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of that going on. And but at the same time, gentle as I've been with Phil Spencer, I do think that it's still on him, because at a certain point you've got to fight for your people and for your plan. And it's clear that he either can't fight or he didn't fight hard enough.
Yeah.
And it cost a lot of people their jobs, and it cost a lot of gamers like really interesting experiences. One of the big ones is that the Perfect Dark got canceled and that studio closed. That
one was fascinating. Because when they showed that game, it looked really cool. Now I know there was a lot of scuttlebutt and stuff like that about like, well, a lot of the trailer was fake that you seen. I remember reading that, and I was like, but then
it seemed like, well, okay, you're right. A lot of people were saying that.
Yes.
What I saw was, as a clarification, was that it was a vertical slice, which does mean.
I was just gonna say that. Yes, it was. Yes. It was, but more.
It was a working piece of the game.
Yes, it was basically like it was. It wasn't a full game. Like it basically, this was a working piece of the game, and it worked really well as long as you played it exactly like they played it in the trailer. If you kind of diverted from anything like that, it all kind of went to hell. But like, sure. but that's kind of what you would expect for something like that,
and that's common in the industry. And what they showed, like, if I was like a person in charge of a purse, I'd be like, no, keep going with this. You've got something here.
Cool.
Like,
that game looked cool. Like, it really did.
Yeah, it really did. And then the knock-on effect for me that I'm super worried about is that they had brought in Crystal Dynamics to help co-develop. Yeah. And like, I bet Crystal Dynamics really needs that money right now. And I'm really worried about that studio.
Unless they were getting some money already for helping do it, but I don't know. Yeah, it's tough to say. You would think that would be in some sort of contract that they signed. Where like, yeah, no, we give us the money and then we'll help you.
I'm sure they got some money, I'm
sure if it would have come out, they probably would have got more. But
right, and well, as development was ongoing, they would have been getting paid, right?
Right.
So
you would hope, yeah.
Because usually with that stuff, as I understand it, it's usually milestones. So you're usually getting like a huge lump sum, like at a milestone from the publisher, and then that's what you're using to, pay your staff and pay your costs for this particular time period, and then you want to make it to that next milestone, before you run out of cash.
That makes sense. Yeah. So Crystal Dynamics are they still under Embracer, or did they get out of that? I thought they got out of it.
They got out of Embracer, and they took their IP with them, which means that they have Tomb Raider, they have Legacy of Kain.
Right.
They are working on a Tomb Raider game, but we've never seen anything on it.
No. Yeah. Ugh, that's dodgy.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe they might be able to fund it and do stuff with it just because Tomb Raider is an IP that they make cartoons and shit on and can make some sort of money on. I don't know.
One would hope so.
You can get somebody to probably put money behind a Tomb Raider video game. I'm just saying, like, it probably is possible. So hopefully somebody smarter than the execs at Square Enix, who were expecting Tomb Raider 2013 to sell better than every other Tomb Raider game since Tomb Raider 2. Yeah, good luck with that. They wanted it to sell like 8 million copies, and I looked at the records, and it was like Tomb Raider Underworld had sold like almost 3 million copies, which was the game before it. Yeah. And then you had to go all the way back to Tomb Raider 2 to get that high of a unit count. Right. And it's like, I don't know what you guys were looking at, man. Like, I don't understand how some of this stuff works. Yeah. And that's kind of the big thing with this shit, man. But honestly, the more I thought about it, the other big thing, Everwild from Rare got canceled. Right. Yeah. Which led to a lot of long-time Rare employees leaving. Yeah. Which honestly, I was surprised they were still there, because like Microsoft never was really able to capitalize on Rare after they bought them. Like, no, they had
Banjo.
Viva Pinata.
Yeah, Banjo
Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah.
And then they kind of put them in the Avatar mines. I don't know if people remember that, but they were the ones working on the avatars for years. And they were making Avatar-based games for years.
Was Sea of Thieves them?
Sea of Thieves was them.
Okay.
That ultimately ended up being a very big seller.
That
but
did well,
initially poor.
Initially was not well received, and then people, they kind of kept at it, and it found its audience.
Yeah, big time. And then when they released it on PlayStation 5, it got a huge amount of new players.
I do not doubt that at all. Yeah. 100%.
But for a while there was it seemed like Rare had been closed, but no, it was just their project got canceled, and then a lot of people left.
Yeah,
and there's still people leaving from Rare, I'm
sure.
But the more that I kind of dug into it, and the more that I thought about what happened, I do feel that this was like on high. Oh yeah, so one thing that Nextlander said last week that just made me roll my eyes is that, you know, brass in Microsoft felt that like they had not turned a profit fast enough on the Activision Blizzard deal, and it's like you paid $70 billion for that deal.
A lot of money for that. Yeah.
And like the only stuff that has actually been released since that deal went through is Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which did really, really well.
Yeah.
And the expansion for Diablo 4, which I think did decent, but it wasn't going to be Diablo 4 numbers because it was just an expansion. And it's like, you have to know that it takes time to make video games, and that it should have been an investment in the future, and that you can't just turn an immediate profit on $70 billion in a year.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. What are you, nuts? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the type of shit these people expect sometimes. It's like, why aren't we making enough money on this thing that we paid all this money for? That doesn't make any sense. It's like, no, listen, you can't explain it to them because number doesn't go up. So what are we doing?
Yeah. And, you know, and we've talked about this in various ways for different companies, because, you know, the layoffs have been an ever present thing, especially since the Stage Select started. But and I think a big part of it is that we've gotten away from like dedicated video game publishers.
Right.
And now it's more about investors who have no real interest in the video game industry.
Yeah.
Because it used to be that like publishers would fund all types of different games, right?
Yeah.
And that's where the AAA and AA stuff comes from, is that you would allocate certain amounts. Like, this is the game that we are going to put our AAA budget and marketing into for the year or for the quarter or whatever. Yeah. And then you would have other games that were smaller. And obviously you want to make good decisions. You want to make, as you see people bring ideas, you want to make sure that you're greenlighting good ideas. And if a project isn't coming together, then you should cancel that project probably.
Right.
But you don't, like, my thing lately is that unless you are a independent developer that's working on one game, like, I understand in that case, like if your game doesn't sell and you were counting on it selling X number of copies and you sell 20% of that,
right?
Yeah, you're probably not going to be able to stay afloat. No. I understand that.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately just how things happen sometimes.
That's just business in general. That's anything. Yeah.
Right. But if you're a developer that's under EA or Ubisoft or Microsoft or Sony,
right,
and you know, you have something that gets canceled or something that underperforms, it shouldn't be that like, well, we can't afford to keep you open anymore.
Right.
It's like, no, put them on a different project. Yeah. Let them cook. Like, the thing about the Microsoft stuff it's extra insane is that all of their departments are profitable right now in ridiculous ways. But the underlying problem is that they want to cut as much costs as they can to invest even more in AI bullshit.
That's what it sounded like.
That's going to end really well for them.
That's going to go good. Go good for a lot of people over the. That's the thing.
Man, the AI stuff is really starting to pop up in ways that is shocking to me. I saw someone post on Tumblr. It was like a little factoid about how Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail came about, because, like, you know, so studios didn't want to pay for it or whatever. So he had all these like bands and interesting celebrities banding together to fund it.
Right.
the photo was an AI photo. They couldn't even just like do a quick Google search to grab a still from the movie.
No, why would we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It just or they did do the Google search, but the AI came up and they couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
It's just bonkers, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel that, like, you know, and I've talked about this to you before, right? Like, Microsoft bought so much new IP with the Activision Blizzard thing.
Yeah.
Like, more than they have studios to work on. And it's like, you never know what's in there, right? And that's what I got off track with the publisher stuff. With the publisher system, you know, you would have these different scale games and stuff like that. And, you know, if you put a lot of your marketing muscle behind like the big project, it was probably going to do pretty well. Yeah. But you never knew when something else was going to catch fire, right? Yeah. Like, again, I mentioned it's still like that. Yeah. And on the Suffer Select most recent episode, I talked about Assassin's Creed 1. Yeah. Where that game blew up in a way that I don't think anybody, including anybody at Ubisoft, anticipated at the time. Yeah. That game sold Call of Duty numbers. Like, it sold Madden numbers in a era when that didn't happen. They put
some advertising and stuff behind it for sure, but
no, they definitely did. Yeah. But I'm saying the return on it was way
way more than they ever thought.
Far and above what the expectation was.
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody making that game was like, oh, this is going to be the next franchise that carries us 20 years in the future. It was like, no.
It was kind of a weird thing, but I don't know. There was something interesting about that game. I remember even like hearing about it. I was like, this sounds really cool. So I definitely wanted to play it at the time. I remember that.
Yeah.
And apparently enough people wanted to too.
They were trying to keep the modern day stuff under wraps, but it ended up like, kind of leaking out in previews. That leaked out
pretty quick. Yeah. I do remember that.
Look at Elden Ring, right? We follow this stuff pretty close.
Yeah.
I did not expect that game to break containment in the way that it did.
Elden Ring, there's, Expedition 33 now that kind of like, did punched a pretty far above its weight class, really, or at its weight class. But but still, kind of a surprise hit. Like, I kind of expected that game to come out, have its audience and day in the sun a little bit, and then kind of, nobody really talks about it. But no, it was a big, huge deal that people really liked. You never know.
Sold really well.
Yeah, you never know. Like, and sometimes games just take a little bit to find their audience, like the live service stuff or anything live service or multiplayer type thing. Sometimes all of a sudden something will be out for a little while. Like Among Us was kind of like that, wasn't it? Like it came out and was like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it came out to crickets.
Yeah, and then slowly over time people streamed it, and that's a big thing nowadays. Is like you never know who's going to find the game, and then all of a sudden it's a big deal to them, and then their audience goes. It's a different world out there now. And you never know what's going to catch on.
You never know what's going to catch on, and that's the thing, right? The bigger companies used to be like really smart about this. EA and Ubisoft in the 7th generation were really good about this, where I remember EA specifically, like they were doing a lot of smart things. They would do like these cool, like if you had this game save data on your system, you would get cool like DLC stuff for this other game. Yeah. Right. And then also they were the ones that published Brutal Legend when nobody wanted to publish Brutal Legend. And, they greenlit very interesting projects like Dead Space and Mirror's Edge at a time when those games were not necessarily like locks for getting greenlit.
Yeah. Right.
And then Ubisoft, I remember them saying that like the Assassin's Creed money allowed them to make stuff like Rayman Origins and Valiant Hearts and what was it? Child of Light or Children of Light? That RPG?
I know which one you're talking about, but I can't remember exactly the name of it. Yeah.
And some of that stuff did really well, right? Yeah. Not like
not Assassin's Creed's numbers, but
profitable, good sales. Also looks good. It's like, oh yeah, you're doing interesting stuff, right? Because at a certain point, Ubisoft did fall into that, like, well, no, all of our games are huge open world things that kind of have the same formula, just different flavors.
They had to try to like keep making those kind of profits, I guess, to keep putting out the smaller stuff, you know. So
right, because it ended up being more about like the investors than
yes. Yeah, the investors want this money. They seen what you can do, and they want you to do it again and again. And so, please make the game like that.
Yeah, and again, a lot of this just comes down to it's not just the video games industry. It's late stage capitalism, and I don't know how to solve for that. But
I don't think anybody does. Until all collapses in on itself. That's pretty much all you can do, or it becomes like Cyberpunk, which might be fun as long as I can get. Cyber eyes or something. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
that'd be good. I'm okay
give me
with
my
that.
cyber eyes and my cyber pancreas. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I'll deal with the smog. That'll be okay.
Yeah,
I'll have electric lungs or something. That'll be fine.
Yeah, give me. I'll also get cyber nostrils. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be good. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
that's okay.
We joke, but I'm dead serious.
I'm kind of serious too. Like, I know Night City doesn't seem. You can walk out there and get killed really quick, but at the same time, like. If I'm looking that cool all the time, that's fine. I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
I will risk a stray bullet to the dome any day for, cool implants. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's hack some people's brains. I'm into it.
Oh, dude. I know I'm on record. Like, if we can brain dance, it's over for me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it probably is over. That'd be fun.
Just hook me up and just hook it into my face.
Right.
A big thing is just getting away from, a lot of these people just look at the next quarter. They're not looking long term. And I always felt that, like, let's say in a 4-year period or a 5-year period, if you're generally up, you're good, right? You accept that things are going to be up and down. But if you're generally going up and also very importantly not in the red ever,
right, then
you're doing well.
Right.
And that's the thing is, like, none of these big companies that they're laying all these people off are in the red.
No they're not.
But like you said, the number didn't go up enough.
It didn't go up enough
quarter.
That's the problem with making a company public, I guess, is that exact reason. You get these outside forces in there that's all they care about, and then there you go. That's all you're gonna have. Oh well.
And I think the last thing that I did want to say about the Xbox thing is that I think that this was the true eye-opening. Microsoft wants out of the video games industry.
Oh yeah.
The Xbox division probably wants to stay the path and probably has like a lot of really interesting, exciting ideas. But I don't think Microsoft gives a shit about that. And I think it's only a matter of time before Xbox as a brand either completely goes away or only becomes a cloud gaming thing.
Possibly. Them investing so much, they will probably make games in some capacity for however long that is. Whether it's Xbox or whatever remains to be seen, because like they own Bethesda and they own Activision Blizzard, right? Those are two big giant like money making things, really. Like you sell an Elder Scrolls, that's gonna probably sell something that you're probably gonna make money off of that. You sell Fallout, that's gonna make money. You have Call of Duty, making whatever Call of Duty makes. Like these are things that make money. World of Warcraft, I don't know what the hell that does anymore, but might still be fine.
I don't know what the player count is at this point, but I have not heard of it like losing money. Like they seem to still be trucking along just fine.
The investment, it's all gonna depend on whether they want to be the guys that are funding like the smaller stuff that has an audience, but maybe not anything crazy, like your kind of like your Obsidians and stuff like that, like kind of that type of thing, right? Ninja Theory, stuff like that. Like, is there a Hellblade? Is a Hellblade 3 really worth it for us, right? Those are the things that are. Do we need that audience, right? If the answer is no, then we cut that, because in theory, if I'm big Microsoft, if I'm the big Microsoft man and I'm making decisions, right? and I go, okay, I need to do something about this gaming division, right? My first thing would be like, do we need to make the hardware and do we need to make the games? Because it looks like if your plan is to, because I imagine their plan is like, well, look, we want to get everything on Game Pass, and that's what we want to do. We want to be like that always seems to be their plan, is to push Game Pass type shit. If that's your plan, do you need to make the games that go on Game Pass, or can you just make the deal that, puts them on Game Pass and make money from that, or something like that?
I think you do need to make the games, because I think that like the first party stuff, especially when they're selling it on PC and PlayStation, is making way more money than
absolutely.
Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, and you'll still have that. You'll still have the big names. Like, you'll still have your Call of Duty. You'll still have all this other stuff. But do we need to make the Xbox? Do we need to like put it on our own thing?
I don't think that they should.
No,
I think that they should fully get out of the hardware business, because I think at that point that also gets them onto that gets Game Pass onto
PlayStation,
a PlayStation system.
And a Nintendo that gets us on to everything. We're not the competition anymore. We're part of the ecosystem now.
Right.
And we can still make our games that will sell this product, because and also we'll get our products on those things and sell them there and make the money from that. It'll all work out.
Yeah.
And that's probably what they're looking to do. Like,
that's kind of the only way that I think that Game Pass works, is if they're no longer a console manufacturer. Because if they do want to continue making a box, and they make a new box for next generation, and I've said it before, I think that they need to drastically change the way Game Pass works. And I think it needs to be that it's no longer day and date with first party stuff coming out on Game Pass. If you want to play it on Game Pass, it's going to come out 3 months after launch.
Right.
So if you don't want to wait, then you can buy it.
Yeah.
Or if you're fine waiting, then you can wait and it'll come on Game Pass. And then 3 months after that, it gets released on PlayStation. And so then they get like that other set, because that way you're actually selling your games again at a premium, and getting people to buy it when it comes out. Yeah, no, that somewhat makes sense. Absolutely, because it's pretty clear that like a lot of people can't wait, where they're actually paying the upgrade charges on Game Pass to play it like a few days early. Right?
Absolutely.
So I think, and we've both said, right, like, I would have bought Indiana Jones at full price. I would buy Fable at full price when that comes out. Like, I would buy Gears of War Emergence Day, right, when that comes out, because I want to play it, right? And I want to play it when it comes out. I'm not the hugest Halo fan in the world, so I would probably wait for the next Halo to come on Game Pass.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm probably going to wait on Call of Duty most years to come to Game Pass.
Yeah.
But other people would not want to wait.
Yeah. But still, even if they do wait, you're still making their Game Pass subscription money, and then you're getting it from there. I think Call of Duty would sell no matter what, and they got some decisions that they got to make. I don't envy it, but like and it's gonna hurt more. A lot of the smaller developers in that whole ecosystem by the end of it, because they spent a lot. They spent a lot on that fucking Activision Blizzard bullshit. Like, they did.
Yeah.
Sadly.
I think it's going to hurt more than just the smaller ones too, and that's an even bigger problem. And and the thing is, again, I do think that it's two wolves within the Microsoft corporation not knowing what the other is doing, because I do think that like within the Xbox division, because like, I still maintain that like the stuff that they showed at their presentation over the summer, some of the coolest looking games that are on the horizon, and that's to say nothing of the stuff that we already know has been announced and is on the way. And then you think of like smaller stuff that's come out that was really cool, like Pentiment, right?
Right.
And some of the smaller games that they didn't make, but they got onto Game Pass, like Immortality,
right?
Really cool things being done and really cool moves being made, but then again, you have this other situation where it's like, but why are you closing these studios when you have the money to fund these games and you should be making more games?
We need more games like Hi-Fi Rush, but let's close the studio that made it. You know, like
right.
I that whole argument aside of well, they never made money. It's like, yeah, but if we're putting this out there, we need more games like this, but we just closed the studio. Yeah, kind of weird, you know.
It's extremely weird.
Yeah.
I don't and yeah, the messaging is all weird, and you know, I think part of that is because there's you know, there's what Phil says because this is what he wants to do with Xbox, and then there's what Microsoft says to Phil, and it's like, oh shit, well, I guess we've got to close this studio now, but I really liked what they were working on.
Right.
But I still have to maintain the you know, this like, we're doing fine because also they are doing fine. Like the numbers show they're doing fine.
Yeah.
But, you know, but they want to invest like, I think they want to invest like 80 billion in AI, and it's like,
yeah. We got to catch up to where AI is at, Julian, at all costs. Everybody don't worry. Listen, everybody, it's okay. I know we laid some people off. I know, you know, things are bad, you know, or it seems bad. It's a little depressing that, you know, maybe a friend of yours got laid off. But listen, if you just, you know, talk to Copilot about it, you know, it'll be okay. Copilot's gonna help you through these dark times. They're gonna be just your best friend. Don't worry about that. Just let Copilot fly you into the World Trade Center or something. I don't know. Figure it out.
That took a turn.
It did. I lost where I was going with it, but yeah. I don't know that, but yeah, I think that might have been a sort of the gist of an email that came out. It was like, oh yeah,
no, there was a very tone deaf person at Microsoft that was like, hey, for the people that lost their jobs, consider talking to an AI chatbot for help. Blah blah blah. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
It's if you're gonna talk to an AI chatbot, have you considered Copilot? It's there. It's trying its best. Oh my god. Yeah, no, that's it's the AI thing is interesting because like there are benefits to it, I suppose, but public perception of it is starting to turn a lot. Like even with people that like normally wouldn't give a shit about stuff like that, like older.
It is in some respects. But then you have a lot more people getting fooled way easier.
Oh, you'll have the people getting fooled, but at the same time, when you there's a lot of times where I point out that they've been fooled, and then they're instantly like, ah, fuck, like it's a really instant reaction. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but But like especially when they know it's an AI though, like when Google does its whole AI bullshit, a lot of people I know immediately just ignore that part, scroll down, and because they're just like, I don't want to fucking listen to what this AI, like older people do this shit when they Google stuff. They're like, I don't give a fuck about this AI bullshit, and to just scroll down to fucking find something, even if that article they clicked on is generated by AI or some shit. They don't care. They don't want it to say that it's an AI. Sure, they might be getting fooled, but yeah. It's weird. And it's interesting. That stuff's either going to have a huge backlash or it's just going to take over everything. We don't know.
I'm unfortunately betting on the latter simply because it continues to get better and better.
Yeah,
and
no, it does.
I've been fooled on a couple thumbnails recently on YouTube where it's like, oh, I got fooled by I thought this was like footage of The Last Ronin, the Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah.
And no, I got by like not only was the thumbnail AI, but then the footage was just AI bullshit.
Yeah,
like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah, they got you. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. But yeah, but that moment of like, oh, I got all right, that's on me. Like, but immediately you stop it. I know YouTube apparently is trying to crack down on that shit and isn't going to fund AI backed stuff, which is interesting from fucking Google with their AI assistant bullshit. Because it's such a mix.
Sounds like another aspect of like one half of the company
we know
having a different mission.
Listen, guys, we know you hate this stuff. But what about this part of it over here? You know what? There's a good part. Let's look at that part. You know, it's okay. Oh yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Did you see the anime waifu on Twitter?
No, I did not.
Oh yeah, if you pay for Super Grok or whatever,
okay,
you can either have a cartoon red panda as your little like buddy,
okay,
AI that you can talk to, or an anime waifu, and
absolutely,
it's just as bad as you think. The little red panda will start talking absolute shit to you like very quickly and just start like cussing. And then the anime waifu, like if you talk to her enough, will like strip down to lingerie. And I'm sure that there's going to be a extra paid feature to go further.
Oh, sure.
Down the line.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't we do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Which, look, I play porn games, so like I get it.
Yeah.
But the porn games aren't like setting fire to, you know, giant swaths of the rainforest with every interaction.
You say that, but there's a lot of AI generated porn games.
There Steam. But so far I've avoided them for the most part.
They're not hard to avoid a lot of the times, but there are some that I'm like, is that? And I got to look at it sometimes. And the shitty thing is there are ones that aren't that I look at pretty hard too, where I'm just like, is this? And then go. And I'm thankful Steam so far has been pretty adamant in their policy of like, no, we will tell you when it has AI shit in it.
Yeah,
that is very nice of them to do.
It's an interesting and weird place to be because there's also like there is a backlash, but I think that you can't bring the pitchforks out equally for. There's levels to it, right? So I remember like after the week that I talked about the altars, like Philip in the Discord was like, oh yeah, they got busted for using AI. And I was like, oh, it didn't seem like a AI heavy game or whatever like that. And then it turned out that like what happened was there had been like they had used like some placeholder art that I don't think made it into the final game. It was just like while they were prototyping. But then also they had paid the people to localize the game into various areas, but then there had been like a few changes to parts of the script at like late in development, where instead of going back to those teams and like making a new contract and stuff like that, they just ran it through a translator. And it's like I kind of get that for like a small team.
I get that
where like it probably wasn't like a lot of stuff that. I'm sure what the deal was is it's going to take us too much time to contact all of these different localizers, like draw up another contract for what equates to like a couple paragraphs of text,
if that even.
Right. And so I kind of get that, but like the vitriol over it, and I was like, but it's not like they were like using AI voice acting for like the entire game or generating massive assets in AI. It's like, this seems to me like a pretty smart implementation of it, where it's like, it's just spot welding like a few parts that they needed to be worked on. Right. Like, I don't know. I get it because like, I'm also like, I don't want to fuck with anything that's like using Gen AI for, you know, assets and stuff like that. And I want to make sure that like voice actors are protected and localizers as well. And I would have felt differently if it had turned out that they completely localized the game in all regions with chatbots.
That'd be a whole thing, right? Absolutely. 100%.
But for just like, you know, piecemeal, like one-off type things, just to like probably get the game out the door.
Yeah. They're
like in the 11th hour. I get it.
AI is such a complicated subject because there are there are bits of it that could actually be useful if we could, if we can manage to contain ourselves and not let it do everything, like there are bits and pieces where it can be a very good tool to use. But the thing is, I don't know if we can fucking contain ourselves. You know what I mean? We already have proven we can't. So
it's that, and it's also, well, it's that. It's also that the worst people in, like, the C-suite people see it as a way to cut as many like creative jobs as possible. But then it's also the fact that we need to solve the power consumption issue.
Right.
Like it has to not set the planet on fire.
Right.
Like if we can get that not only under control but actually in the positive, then I've got much less of a problem with it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, there's also that.
Yeah. Man, my agency is really gung-ho on it too. It's
Oh, I'm sure.
I have not been ordered to use it yet. I have been suggested to use it mainly for summarizing, like, legalese and stuff like that, but I have not used it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's that. But people lost their jobs at Microsoft. The end.
To be continued, because it'll happen again.
It probably will. It'll either be Microsoft or somebody else. Who knows? Who will be next in the long line of this shit? Impossible to know. What else we got?
Well, before we get out of here, I thought we would catch up on some more CQC or comments, questions, and concerns.
Okay.
Let's see. If you want to send something to us, there's multiple ways to get at us. You can email us. The email address is thestateselectpod@gmail.com. You can comment on the Patreon or YouTube editions of the show. Or you can join our Discord, and there is a channel for comments, questions, and concerns, which is where all of these come from. This one comes from Mike Fallick, who says, "Okay, boys, I've been playing Avowed. There's an arachnophobia mode, which is cool, but I cannot tell if the replacement for spiders, for those afraid of them, is very cool or exceedingly the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. I think it might be the latter, but I cannot tell. In the photo, that weird spike orb is wielding the sword. And it is a picture of what looks to be like just like a kind of like a floating landmine with a sword.
Sure, yeah.
That's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
I get the concept. I don't know if that's what I would have gone with.
I always was a big fan of the Skyrim modding way of solving that problem. Arachnophobia is a big thing for a lot of people in video games or playing.
One of my best friends
games.
has it.
Yeah, and they will see that, and that is the end of that video game. A lot of times, it's like, nope, can't do it. Skyrim has a pretty early on. If you're following the the basic line of the story, you're gonna encounter some of those pretty quick. Skyrim modding decided that yes, that was indeed a problem. I think this was a pretty early one too, and I'm guessing it's still there. And somebody just went, you know what? All spiders are bears now, and that was it. That's all they did. They just replaced it with bears. Is it quite the same? No, it's not. It some of the atmosphere is a little off when you do that, but at the same time, it's kind of funny.
There's all these webs around,
but
all of a sudden there's a bear. Yeah,
it's fine. Don't worry about it. That's how bears sleep. They really like this atmosphere. This is how they're kicking it. But that's how they solved it. I think it's a tough line to walk because you don't want to remove an encounter from a game, I guess, if you're trying to balance it out. So what do you do?
I think my preference would be to replace them with like a slime type monster that can still traverse walls and stuff like that, because that's an element of because just from a mechanics standpoint, that's an element of those encounters, which is like that they can come from any direction.
Yeah.
where like you can't have a bear just like scurrying along.
No.
The ceiling.
Yeah. At the same time, are you going to put all the development into doing that just for this one thing that not all that many people will ever use?
But I think that like it's a fairly simple enemy that you can also like. You're not going to have to do a lot of extra work to make it do the same things that the spider enemies do.
Yeah, sure, but like making.
I guess with your solution, they literally just like removed the spider and put the bear.
Oh, yeah,
so it's using the bear.
It's just
AI.
It's just a bear now. Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So
about it.
I guess that's probably
that
easier.
wasn't my solution. That was Skyrim modding solution. That was what modders did to solve that problem. And as far as I know, it's probably still a relevant mod. There was other stuff that they had modding had fixed a lot of those kinds of problems. There was other stuff people had irrational fears of, and people would mod that stuff out. Fallout had the same deal a lot of the time with stuff like that. So can't remember off the top of my head what they were replacing in Fallout, but I remember it was a thing.
Right.
But yeah.
Next up, AddieXD says first cartoon/animated crush of childhood.
Does it have to be a cartoon?
I would say, well, I guess not necessarily. Like, cartoon/animate. I mean, that could be a video game character as well.
I mean, it'd probably be Chun-Li for me, if that's the case.
That late, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it was 90 when Street Fighter 2 came out.
Oh, it was okay. It was like when you first saw her.
Yeah. I probably maybe a little bit out down the line. Maybe I realized something, but yeah, that would probably be about right.
Yeah.
Maybe April O'Neil, actually, from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, that would actually, if we're going just cartoons, that probably would maybe be it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I always say that I was like a pretty late bloomer as far as like noticing girls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I realized that like I was a boob man pretty early on.
Sure.
Because I remember April O'Neil in Ninja Turtles and Lady J in G.I. Joe being of particular interest, but not necessarily understanding why.
Right.
And I also remember really liking Dolly Parton and Lonnie Anderson, but again, not understanding why.
Sure, yeah.
If it's like a cartoon character that I was cognizant of, oh, hell yeah. That's actually kind of hard to say. It was probably anime.
Yeah.
It was.
If we're talking cognizant of it, like, okay, yeah. Oh, that's a little tougher.
Yeah. Like, it might have been Shampoo on Ranma 1/2.
Okay.
I'm
not sure now.
Because that was also like one of the first like nude cartoon characters I ever saw.
Yeah.
Because I rented Desperately Seeking Shampoo, which is one of the OVAs.
Yeah.
That has a nude scene in it.
Yeah. I don't know if I have exactly that. I don't know. I think cognizant of. I actually had. I might have been. They're not exactly animated, but they're in a video game. It might have been actually Tifa from Final Fantasy VII that I kind of felt something for, and maybe it's because she had writing and stuff like that that I was, but also wasn't wearing a whole lot, I guess. So maybe there was also that aspect. I'm not sure. Maybe that. I don't know. That's tough. That's actually if we're talking cognizant of. Yeah. I don't know.
There was a lot of video game stuff in my teens that I'm not proud of. Like, I definitely remember pausing Street Fighter 2 for like Chun-Li once she got the that vertical kick.
Yeah.
The charge kick.
Sure.
And then of course Cammy.
Yeah.
I remember very distinctly there was a fan art of Blaze from Streets of Rage 2 that someone submitted to EGM that was very, very important to Julian when he was like 14, 15.
Sure, I would not doubt it. Yeah.
It was they made a lot of detail about her tube top. Like, it was It was interesting.
Yeah.
Casey says, what is your favorite launch game?
Oh, we've done this one before, haven't we? On stage. That was there's that pants. Shit. Ooh, that's tough. It's actually tough. What's your favorite launch game, Julian? Let me.
I think it's Super Mario World.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I wasn't around. Mine, I think, is Soul Calibur.
That's a really good. Yeah, I think we have done this.
Yeah, we did. We did a whole state select on it, but that was a different podcast.
True.
Who cares about that? Yeah, I think mine is Soul Calibur. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I put so much fucking time into Soul Calibur. I bought a Dreamcast because Soul Calibur was on it. Yeah.
I don't recall if we did. I don't think we did this one. This is from Xavier, who says, how often do you rearrange your room/house? I find myself once a year or so doing a fairly dramatic rearrangement of at least one room, if not others. Sometimes it's caused by getting something new that makes me want to showcase my collectibles differently.
Sure.
Sometimes it's just sheer boredom, but it always makes whatever space feel new and refreshed to me.
Yeah, almost never for me. I almost never do that. Dead serious.
I don't anymore.
Yeah.
I used to when I lived with my mom.
Sure.
Like I would completely rearrange my room, like, probably every 6 months to a year.
Mine's almost problematic because I'll just add shit on top of other shit. It's bad. I should rearrange stuff or like get a new shelf or something, but I don't do that because why? But seriously, even without that, I would maybe like add a new shelf or something if I needed to, if I had more space in where I lived right now. The thing is with me is like, I'm a firm believer of if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Like, it's fine. Like I get comfortable with a layout. I know that layout. That's my layout. I put this here for a reason. And sometimes I will fix it if it is not serving its purpose. Everything is in a position where it is either that is the only place it can go right now, or that is the place where I have found I like it. That is where I want it to be. Other than that, no, I really don't feel like, that's always nuts. Like, no, I just need to move I'm going to move the couch over to the other side of the room, just make myself feel better. It's like, okay, why? What purpose did that serve?
Justin,
I don't know, just for fun.
Justin,
just to have ourselves a good time,
I have to interrupt you because now I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay, you're good. It happens. Been working on a bit. Not a good bit. I don't know if I can fully pull it off. Somebody said it was pretty good, but I don't know. I don't know if I fully trust them. I don't know if I want to do it just yet. But I've been working on what if Johnny Cash covered Garth Brooks. It almost works. It's tough, though. It's tough because I'm self-conscious about it. Maybe I'll do it sometime. But Johnny Cash talk singing Friends in Low Places kind of works pretty well if you know how to do it. I don't feel like doing it right now. I don't even know why I'm mentioning this. This is for Julian in the future. This is just for him. Maybe someone else. Who knows? What have I been up to? Oh, okay. He's back. I'm gonna mention this to him. Here we go.
That's what I get for talking shit when you left.
It happens. It happens to us all, man.
It's like, oh, that 44-ounce Diet Dr. Pepper really caught up to me. Okay.
No, whatever you do right before this, like we sit here long enough to where it is going to catch you. Like it's just gonna, Don't think you can outrun it.
Usually I'm pretty good, like, because I usually have a big soda, like, before and as we're starting the show.
Yeah.
And I'm usually fine.
Yeah.
But No, so getting back to the house that, I think owning a house really changed it for me because living room wise, like I can't really, there's not anything that I can do.
Yeah,
because
I
can't reverse like where the TV is because there's connections where the TV is.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I there are times where I'm like, if you have a really big room or something like that, yeah, then I can see like, okay, well, let's move it over here and do this stuff. But even then, it's like a whole work thing. Like some furniture is like heavy. I don't know if you guys knew that. It's fucking heavy. Like unless you have like hardwood floor. If you got carpet, man, fucking forget it. You got to lift that shit all the way up. It's the whole thing. Fuck the carpet up. Can't have it.
Yeah.
Unless you got those weird fucking slide things that you put on the things or whatever. I don't know. Some people do that.
And my bedroom just has my bed in it, so there's no real point in doing anything there.
Yeah.
My office is like the one thing, like where I'm sitting right now. Like this is the thing that I can adjust. And like I have been so when I was in Colorado, I found these really cool little they're blind box Transformers model kits.
Okay, yeah.
They only have about like 50-ish pieces, but they're like really they're from Blockies. They're really detailed. They have good articulation. They're really neat. And I was and this came off of listening to Versus Wolves, where Wooly got Eye Patch Wolf to try Gunpla. And like he was talking about how like relaxing it was to put a Gundam together. And I was like, and then also in Colorado, I was watching my friend Joe, like he does stuff with Legos. And so he was at the Lego store, and I was just kind of looking, I was like, man, like if I had the money and the space, I would actually kind of like to get some of the, like, I don't necessarily want like the environment sets of Legos, but like they have like the Transformers ones, and they have like certain like, a monument, or like they had the car from Fast and the Furious, and I was like, it's cool.
Yeah, they'll have like paintings and stuff you can put together with Legos and stuff like that. There's a lot of neat shit. Kim is very into that stuff. Or at least she was for a while. So
yeah, and I could see like the fun of doing that, and it was very, very fun and relaxing putting the two little blind box guys that I got together. So anyway, long story short, I ended up ordering larger ones. I got an Optimus and a Megatron on the way that have like 200 something pieces, and I'm like, so now I'm like, well, I need to find a way to like arrange my stuff for that. But then also, I'm like, I decided that one of my bookcases in here is going to be the HoloLive one, because I have HoloLive merch on the way now. So like I need to move the stuff that I have on there so that I can display the HoloLive stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, other than that, there's really not much that I can do.
I honestly, I'm poking fun at people that move stuff around, but no, I get it. Like I wish I had the energy to do it sometimes, because like there are some times where I'm like, yeah, I should probably, rearrange some stuff or do something with this, but like I just don't.
It's a combination of laziness and executive dysfunction for me. Like I have needed to replace the pump on my toilet for, like, I have the replacement pump. I have had it for like 8 months at this point.
Right. Yeah.
Have I replaced it? No. Do I continue to just fill up the back tank of my toilet when I need to flush? Yes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There you go.
60X Self asks, hey, what crossover do you want Magic to do? Follow up, what crossover don't you want them to do?
Oh, that's interesting. Do I want them to do? What do I think? I've thought about this. Because Final Fantasy was such like a slam dunk for that type of thing. God, what could they do good with? You can't go wrong with a lot of like the Dungeons and Dragons RPG inspired type stuff. Like you could probably just get Square Enix to greenlight a fucking Dragon Quest one right now, and that would work out probably pretty cool. There's enough monsters, there's enough heroes and legendary type stuff going on in that to where it would probably totally work and work very well. I'm not saying I would want that because I don't really care about Dragon Quest that much, but I think it would work really good. Because that's the thing. Like, I could say, like, I don't know, because they do some weird sets sometimes, or they'll do little weird one-shots. Like, there's a Spider-Man Magic the Gathering set, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, that doesn't seem like...
Yeah, I don't
that doesn't seem in the ballpark. The next set that's coming out is like kind of space themed, but it's still like magic. Like but space shit's happening, and like there's ships and shit like that. I'm like, this is actually kind of cool, blending the sci-fi with it. That's kind of neat. I like that. I like that take. That's a route you can go. What I wouldn't want is interesting. I don't even know what I wouldn't want at this point. It just like anything that's either too modern day. Like I don't think I'd want like a Marvel superheroes Magic the Gathering thing. I don't think that would work.
Yeah, that
me.
Just sounds wrong to me.
Yeah, and they're already kind of going down some paths like that. I actually don't like that they did a Fallout one, because it's like there's no real magic in Fallout. It's kind of more realistic. I mean, I know but in radiation based, that's kind of weird. It wasn't a set. It was just like a little thing that they did where they did some cards, or I don't know exactly how that all worked, but like that doesn't work for me. I'm trying to think of a fantasy world that I'd really like to see in Magic the Gathering. It's kind of tough.
For me, especially because like the art was so nice on the Final Fantasy ones, I would love for them to do a Wheel of Time.
Yeah, sure. Set. Absolutely.
I think that would probably, what I know of Magic, I think that would fit really well.
Anything fantasy based, yeah, from what you've explained, yeah, that would be great, actually. I think that would really work. Anything fantasy based, anything that has magic happening, I think you can make work in some way, especially if there's a lot of monsters and shit like that in it, or anything. Because you gotta have creatures to summon, you gotta have spells to cast. Not like.
So how would you feel about either a Mass Effect or a Star Wars? Because you got Biotics and the Force, respectively.
Star Wars, I think, could maybe work. Because you could almost make it like essentially like what they did with the Final Fantasy, with a lot of legendary creatures, a lot of like, you know, summon Luke Skywalker, summon Princess Leia, summon Han Solo, summon, you know, these other
Kit
guys.
Fisto.
Yeah,
everybody's favorite.
Any of these guys, you know, all of them, all the guys, all the men and the women, summon them all. You could probably do it. There is a magic element to it. Would I think it would be super great? Not really, but you could pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like, you know, there's like a there's big enough monsters and aliens and shit in that universe where it would work. Star Trek might be able to work too, actually, weirdly enough. You could probably do a Star Trek thing too. Again, that doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, Star Wars I would be okay with. Star Trek I would not.
Yeah, Mass Effect I'm kind of in the same boat. I know they have the biotics and stuff, but I'm like, I don't know. It's a little too like realistic, I guess. But I don't know. You might.
No, I agree. I wouldn't want it. I was just curious about your thoughts.
Yeah. Star Wars I think could work. Maybe. I don't know. It's tough. I don't envy the people that have to make those decisions or get the licenses for stuff to make, you know, because we're at the point with that stuff where it's got to be popular enough to do it in the first place. You know, like, okay, you know what, honestly, okay, my actual answer here, I would love a Witcher themed Magic the Gathering set. I think that'd be actually pretty fucking dope. As soon as I see it, I was like, oh, right. Yeah, of course, that. Elder Scrolls could work too, actually. Anything Elder Scrolls would absolutely work. But Witcher would be pretty fucking great. I would be super into that. Because, you have all your legendary creatures, Witchers. You could even make Geralt a fucking planeswalker, which they didn't make any planeswalkers in the Final Fantasy set. Maybe they're trying to stay away from those nowadays because they are kind of ridiculously powerful every time they fucking print one. But you know, what do I know?
Are those people that walk between dimensions?
Yes, plain. It's a card type in itself. It's kind of tough to describe. People that play know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's
because it sounds like Gilgamesh should be one.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of wondered if that's how they were gonna do the Final Fantasy one. Like because I even said back when they announced that they were doing it, I was like, well, I think you could make Cloud a planeswalker because he's in other stuff. He's in Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. You can make a couple of them different like that, or maybe you could do like, no, the summons themselves are planeswalkers. They didn't go that route ultimately, but you could maybe do that. They're kind of these cards that come down and then they have an ability each turn that you can activate. It's really hard to explain until you're actually playing with them, so I'm not going to really get into any of that. But like, you could do that with Geralt because he does the whole portal bullshit, or Ciri or something like that, and it would work. It would actually work. They probably wouldn't do that. They probably just go, it's a legendary creature, and they do this. But there's enough there. There's probably enough there, especially with all the folklore and stuff like that. You could really make something neat out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my answer. Elder Scrolls, like I said, could work too. What I wouldn't want though is tough. Oh yeah, I already said a Marvel superhero. Don't make any superhero stuff. I don't like the idea. It's bad.
Yeah, me not being a Magic player, like I wouldn't. I know I'm on the same thought of you, is that I wouldn't want anything really modern.
Yeah.
Like, and I also I don't like the idea of sci-fi really mingling with it. So like,
yeah,
I wouldn't want like a Star Trek or a Transformers or a Doctor Who thing.
I don't mind. I think they've done Doctor Who actually. I keep thinking that might have been a thing that actually happened. I don't mind if it's your own lore, like if you're writing it and being like
within the universe, sure.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, because like Warcraft has like sci-fi stuff in there, like the Draenei are aliens from another planet.
Yeah. I mean, Warhammer actually could fucking work kind of cool as something like that. I mean, they already own it. I bet they they probably already did it. Somebody's gonna tell me that. Like, yeah, no, they already did the Warhammer one.
Magic the Gathering is Simpsons. Like Magic did it. Magic did it. Like
they probably did, but like, the thing about it is like they didn't used to. That's what's weird about it. They were their own thing, and then they kind of, they'd borrow here and there from stuff that was, obviously popular. There was always references and shit like that, but like it was never like, no, we're just gonna make a Lord of the Rings set, like there is now. So, yeah.
Almost finishing these up. Extrian says, I'd like to know your top Pie in the Sky remake and sequel. Assume the absolute perfect team is recruited, the company is back in business or whatever, and it'll be exactly what you'd want out of it. I know we've done similar to this, so I will try to like not use the normal ones that I go to.
Yeah, remake and sequel, you said?
Yeah, I think and I don't think like it can be like separate things.
Okay.
Like, so like this was pretty easy for me. So Pie in the Sky remake for me would be Shadow Hearts.
Sure.
Preferably Shadow Hearts Covenant, but I'd go with the first one as well.
Yeah.
I forget who owns that franchise, but I know that they're on record as saying they have no interest in doing anything with it.
Yeah.
So we're never going to see it.
Yeah.
Sequel, Legend of Legaia. I would like to see another one of those.
Sure. I have the same answer for both, and it's Final Fight. They should remake Final Fight, and then they should make a sequel to it, and just keep making fucking Final Fight games. I don't know why we're not doing that.
I really want a new Final Fight game that looks like Street Fighter 6's World Tour.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I want something. I want a modernized Final Fight. I don't want like, no, we made a 2D one and it's like the beat 'em ups that you know and love. I want a different take on fucking Final Fight. You've
Me too.
integrated these characters into the Street Fighter universe. you can do the reverse. You can start putting the Street Fighter guys into Final Fight. Let's fucking do something with all this shit. I don't know why they don't.
No, I agree.
And Capcom can totally fucking get away with it too. And everybody would love it. Everybody would be like, this is really cool that they're doing this. And it has all this stuff in here that we like.
And they're so hot right now too. Yeah, and
that's what I mean.
Because I actually think that Final Fight Streetwise was a good idea. I just don't think that it was executed well at the time.
It was exactly. It's a neat idea and concept. All you just like,
just make it good.
Yeah, just make it good and don't try to be like, make it like a weird version of fucking Fight Club or whatever the hell they tried to do.
Yeah. Like let it be silly, let it be anime.
Yeah.
You know, have the characters be like exaggerated proportions,
Absolutely.
like Street Fighter 6.
It'd be cool. You could.
Ooh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you see the Sagat trailer for 6?
I admittedly did not know.
He's a tall boy now,
That's
man.
Good. That's good.
Like he's like the tallest he's ever been.
Good for him.
And he's got a command grab now.
He's doing his stretches. That's good.
Yeah. Like they're giving him a lot more kick and knee related attacks finally. So he actually feels more like Muay Thai than I think he's ever felt.
That's cool. Good for them. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then 60 says, follow up, edge of the pan or center of the pan brownies. I'm workshopping a theory with Addy.
Well, okay, hold on. What?
Center of the pan brownies or edge of the pan brownies.
I hate the edge of the pan brownie. I would eliminate all edges of all pans when it comes to brownies if I could.
Blasphemy.
No, they're terrible. It's all like crispy and gross. It's fucking weird.
It's that crunch. You gotta have that
it's
crunch.
Awful. It feels wrong. No, a brownie is supposed to be soft and fucking mushy. That's what I want my brownie to be. I don't need this fucking weird, like, all of a sudden the cake's hard. That's weird. That's fucking awful. Like, no, I want it mushy and fucking good. That's how a cake is. You don't buy a birthday cake and then like the edges are like fucking randomly burnt. You're like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. The edges are fucking burnt. That's not how cake works. Brownie is just fancy chocolate cake. That's all it is.
Justin Ham oddly passionate about edge brownies.
I know, because everybody's like has the same opinion as you, and I'm like, you're all fucking wrong. I will stand here and tell you that.
No, look, I mean, honestly, I will fuck with whatever part of the brownie as long as it doesn't have nuts in it.
I don't like nuts. Yeah, no, I have come very that doesn't sound right. Dude, don't leave it in. It's great. I've kind of basically made peace with the fact that I just hate nuts in anything. Like, I just don't like them anymore.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were going to say the opposite, which is where I'm at, which is that I have come around on nuts in a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I still, when it comes to brownies, I prefer no nuts.
No, there was a time where I thought nuts and things were pretty good. I actually liked it, and like sundaes and stuff like that. But recently I had a sundae that had nuts in it, and I was like, oh, it actually tastes worse. Like it made the flavor of whatever it was I was eating not as good as I thought it was, because I ordered it without nuts, but then they put fucking nuts in it anyway, because my local ice cream place is full of teenagers who are fucking morons apparently.
And don't care about possibly like killing someone.
That was my other thing. I was like, oh, good. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. what if I had an allergy? Yeah, thanks for that. Fucking dipshits. I don't. And I ate the sundae anyway, and I was just like, yeah, this tastes worse, actually. It just doesn't taste right. It's a little bit of a texture thing too. I'm not a big like crunch fan. I'm not a big fan of anything like really crunchy. That's just not my thing.
No chips in your sandwich, huh?
Yeah, no. I if I'm gonna eat chips, I'm gonna eat chips on my own. Which, by the way, I ate the all dressed chips. They're very good, actually.
Fucking A, yeah.
Big fan of all dressed chips. At first, I was like, "That's a little different," and then slowly, as I ate through them, I was like, "No, I'm starting to get it. These are fucking actually pretty good." There's a very addicting factor to these. They have a little bit of everything.
And those aren't even like the best like all dressed chips that I've had, but like. It's all that we can get in the States now, so I'll take it.
Yeah. I randomly found the Lay's ones at the dollar store in where I live.
Yeah, they're just here now.
Yeah.
But only Lay's brand.
Yeah, but like certain stores where I actually live, they don't have them. So it was weird. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, is pecan pie a thing in your neck of the woods, or is that just like a Texas thing?
Pecan pie, I've had that before. I think that's
the thing that I used to hate as a kid, and I've come around on it as an adult.
That's fair. Yeah, that's totally fair.
And then 60 says, let's see, for an additional data point, cake or cookie?
Oh, now that's tough, actually. That's tough.
Yeah. They're so different. Like, cake or pie is the more usual thing.
Yeah, cake or... Well, here's the thing. What kind of cake and what kind of cookie, right?
Yeah, that's the important thing. Because,
Yeah. A lot of different... I don't know. Cake has a... if I'm going... My personal thing, if we're just, basing off winging it here, I would say cake, because cake always has the mushy factor, right? You don't want... For me, there are cookies that are meant to be crunchy, and I think those cookies are awful usually. Those are not my kind of cookies. I stay far away from those. But like... Cake is usually a mushy thing, and I like that. I've been real into and they're terrible for you probably, but those like little mini muffin things, but they also like make like they're what are they called? Little bites. I've been having a lot of those. They come in a bag, and there's like 4 of them in there, and you eat them in 2 seconds, and you're like, well, I don't know why I did that.
And you're supposed to only have one, but who actually only has one?
Who's gonna have one little bite? What are you, out of your fucking mind? No. But they sell like the birthday cake ones. They're like they call them party cake or whatever. It's just like the cake with the colors in it. And I keep eating those, and I'm like kind of addicted to them now. I'm just like, no, these are good. Fucking little bites, man. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
And that's a Justin Ham style snack right there. They just mush in your fucking mouth and you swallow them like a fucking pill. That's great. I don't even barely have to chew. There's no work involved. It's amazing.
Justin Ham famously wants pre-chewed food.
Feed
him like a bird.
Let's not rule it out, Julian. Let's not rule it out. Let's not rule it out.
Yeah, for me, it's very situational. Like, I don't like a cake that has too much frosting.
Sure.
And miss me with that fondant shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Sure. Absolutely.
Like my first girlfriend would make like very fancy cakes. She would do like the Cake Boss type stuff, and they were very pretty.
Yeah.
But like, they're just encased in this fondant, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
If it's a cookie, I want it to be big and I want it to be soft.
That's the thing, right? Soft cookie now, and again, if we have a soft cookie discussion, soft cookie versus cake, then I'm kind of on team cookie, like, right? You know, but if it's like a big enough slice of cake and it doesn't have too much frosting, right?
I might be on the cake side.
I like depending on the frosting, right? I'm a frosting guy. I like frosting. It's fine.
I like a cream cheese based frosting.
Sure. I like whipped frosting, pretty all right.
Yeah, it used to be a thing that I loved. Like I loved frosting, and then at a certain point, it got to be a little like some places just like they go way overboard on it.
For sure, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
buttercream's awful. Buttercream's terrible frosting.
Yes,
yeah.
I agree.
Somebody up there out there right now is up in arms over us saying that.
Big Baker's eye is twitching right now
because
it's literally what she does for a job.
Awful. Fucking awful. Whipped, pretty good frosting whipped. I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. Catching up. Last comment, question, or concern that we have in the queue comes from AddieXD, who says, what are your skis words, if you have any? Like how some people can't stand the word moist. Are there any words that just make you get the ick or hard cringe or some other intense reaction?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't mine, I don't even want to say it. Begins with a P, ends with Y.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I hate it. Hate that word. I can't stand it. Really super bothers me. I don't even like hearing it.
Panty.
Not that one. That one's not great either. There's another.
Oh, it's what's behind the panty.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that really gets me. but that one's not great either. I don't like that word either. Yeah, those two words. It's like the P and the Y. I don't know what it is. I'm just like, ugh, yeah, ugh. Yeah. That's but that one is 100% mine. I won't even say it because it just bothers me so much.
Yeah, I'm sure that I have some, but I can't really think. It's more of a thing that it has to like happen, and then I'm just like, ugh. A big thing for me though is repetition. I can't stand repetition. So like if somebody says a word too many times, I'll say stop saying so and so word.
Right, yeah.
Because it just bugs me.
Yeah.
And I think part of that comes from like, you know, writing so much over the years of like game reviews and stuff like that, and being very cognizant of like not reusing words.
Yeah, that's one thing you pick up on when if you read enough or write enough. When people start to do that, it's pretty bad and pretty blatant. They don't mean it.
And also talking into a mic about video games for so long, like I try to be very cognizant of that, of not repeating phrases or like specific words.
Sometimes you got to do it for effect, but there's you got to pick your spots. It's a whole thing. But no, I get you. Yeah. For me, I have a very specific word. I actually debated this with somebody recently. I don't remember who it was. No, I remember who it was. It was Kim. where I was like, no, I'd rather say the word vagina. That word's fun to say. And they disagreed. They're like, no, it sounds weird and gross. I'm like, no, but listen to it. Just aesthetically, it's fun. It's 3 syllables. It's just a joy to say it. I don't know what it is. I know what it is, but there's something about saying that I have fun with. I don't know why. I'm all about saying that. The other thing bothers me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what some of my trigger words are, and I can't think of it right now.
Yeah.
There's stuff that I used to say that I hate that I can't say now because assholes like appropriated it from me, like rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. My favorite word is floxinosinihipilification.
That's a fun word. I didn't even know that was a word, but it's cool.
It is. Yeah. It means nothingness.
Good.
Which is good. Great. I learned it from a Heinlein book, and I learned how to say it, and like I'm really good at saying it. And
good.
I can't. I'm like 50-50 on being able to spell it.
Yeah. Right. But, yeah.
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 All right.
I think we did.
It was a show, Justin.
Yeah. That's a show.
Yeah. I'm hungry.
Yep. Julian will go get his food, and I will go have my cigarette.
Yeah. I believe the board is still down, so we are on Skazder watch, like week 4.
Oh, Skazder Day? Oh, hold on. It is Skazder Day. Yeah, hold on. We can do that. Here, we can cut it early. Look, it's that way. Maybe we won't get flagged for it, but it's there now.
I told you it's fine as long as we don't do it too early in the show.
Okay, well, fair. Yeah. Fair.
And usually we don't. It just happened to be that one episode where we had already recorded something.
I know. I need to cut it down more. I think it's just slightly over the threshold to where it'll trigger, but it's hard to say with these types of things. Day. It's risky.
No, I thought the whole board was down. So
no, that there's 2 boards, Julian. The other one is down. The one with the yeah. And all I need to do is transfer for them to the other one, but I'm lazy.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Well, where can they find you on the internet, Justin?
Oh, twitch.tv/TyrantSwift is where you can find me if I decide to stream again, which eventually I will. Life is weird. I'm working on it. It's going to take a bit. Also, YouTube at TyrantSwift TV, which is all the old stuff that you can watch. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, I'm not really on the internet all that much. So, yeah.
You can find me on Blue Sky. Just search for Julian Titus. The show is on Twitter at State Select Pod. Thanks as always to the wonderful Megan McDuffie for our theme song and interstitial tracks. Thanks to friend of the show, John Gholson, for being our announcer and providing us with our logo and artwork. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Stage Select. I've been Julian Titus. He's been Justin Ham. We've been the Stage Select. Signing off.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.
This was getting me nowhere. I couldn't tell if he was an idiot or a genius. The whole thing stank, like the patchouli cloud that followed him every...
Sorry.
I didn't think you'd break.
I made myself laugh, and then that kind of just made it all come together. Sorry. Go ahead.